It's tragic enough when one life is cut short, but when there are multiple victims, it's even more unforgettable. These calls and the backstories are heartbreaking, gut-wrenching, and disturbing. At 8 p.m. on January 30th, 2011, Métis Vasquez Clarke called her son, 21-year-old Johnny Clarke, who was spending time at his girlfriend's house while her parents were out of town. When she checked in on him, he jokingly told his mother, "Yes, Mom, I'm still alive," but that would change hours later. Johnny called his friend Tiffany Williams around 10:40 p.m., and at that time she heard him speaking to someone else. Concerned by the conversation and the lack of communication, Williams convinced a friend to go to the house he was at with his girlfriend, 20-year-old Lisa Straub. At the same time, Métis was trying to contact her son. After 22 calls went unanswered from 10:41 p.m. onwards, she knew something was wrong. The 21-year-old's mother then got a call from his best friend's girlfriend, who was worried about him. Once the parents reached the house, Métis made the first 911 call at 1:21 a.m. for a welfare check.
Hello?
Toledo 911.
Ma'am,
Mm-hmm.
my heart is beating out of my chest. I just got a call from one of my son's friends.
Okay.
Her phone number, I have it right here. She just picked my husband up too. My son and his girlfriend live out at Long Acre Lane.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's Collin. This girl says she was on the phone with my son and his girlfriend, and he was supposed to go pick her up. He was telling her he was going out the door, and all she heard was the phone drop and heard my son saying in the background, "Who are you? What do you want? What are you doing here?" And she said she just drove by the house, and the house looks ramsacked. All the lights are on. My son's not answering, and neither is the girlfriend.
Okay, you said it was...
Yes, Lane.
Okay.
Oh, my God. I got heart problems, and my heart's beating out of my chest right now.
All right, I understand. Do you know if that's all one word, or is it two separate?
It's separate words.
Lawn Acre.
Yes, Long,
Long.
L-O-N-G, Acre, A-C-R-E, Lane. Oh, my God.
Is she still there?
No, she just came by here to pick up my husband, my son's dad, and I'm here with the other two younger kids.
All right, what is your name?
My name is Métis Vasquez Clarke. Oh, my God. I have the girl's phone number that he was talking to that heard all this going on in the background.
Okay.
Her parents, my son's girlfriend's parents are out of town. They left for Puerto Rico 2 days ago. I don't know how to calm myself down. My heart's beating out of my chest.
Okay, what did your son tell her?
My son was like, "Hey, Tiff, we're on our way out the door. We're coming to get you." And then all she hears is the phone drop and my son Johnny saying, "Who are you? What do you want? What are you doing here? Who are you?" And no more answers. That's all she hears. And then she says that she starts getting worried because neither of them are answering the phone. And she goes out there by the house and she sees all the lights are on and the cabinets look ransacked.
Okay, but you don't have any idea where your son's at?
He was there at the house with his girlfriend. That's where they're house sitting for her parents.
Okay, but he wasn't there when she went over there?
No. She rang the doorbell and nobody came to the door, nothing. Oh my God, ma'am, I'm so afraid something happened bad.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay, what is your son's name?
John S. Clarke. Clarke is with the E at the end.
Is he white, black, or Hispanic?
He's white and Hispanic. He looks more white than anything.
How old is he?
He's 21. Date of birth is... And the girlfriend is...
Okay, is somebody going to meet us over there?
Yeah, my husband's on his way there right now. Oh my God, my hands are ice cold. My heart's beating out of my chest.
Do I need to send you medical, ma'am?
Please do.
Okay, let me get this call in real quick, and I'll send you medical, okay?
But I have these kids. Okay, please make the call. The girlfriend's name is Lisa Straub.
Okay, what's your husband's name?
John P. Clarke.
What kind of car is he driving?
I don't know what the girl's car is that picked him up. I'll give you the girl's phone number. The girl, Tiffany.
Do you know how long it's going to take him to get over there?
Probably 10 minutes. Oh, my heart. My God, I can't take this.
What's his girlfriend's name?
Lisa Straub. Straub.
What's her cell number?
This is his girlfriend. This is not the girl that called me from the cell number.
Okay.
The girl that called me is Tiffany. I don't know her last name, and her cell number is...
Okay, but we can get a hold of Lisa on that number?
No, Lisa's with Johnny. That's what I'm telling you. Lisa and Johnny are boyfriend and girlfriend. They were leaving her mom's house. They were on the phone with this girl named Tiffany. The number I'm going to give you, the cell phone number that I'm going to give you. They were talking to her on the phone when all this commotion went down.
I thought the girlfriend called you saying that she was on
No,
the phone.
No, not the girlfriend. Her friend. The girlfriend's friend called me. And she's the one that just came here now to pick my husband up. Oh, my God, please. I'm praying that my son is okay. Oh, Lord.
All right, stay on the line and talk to medical while they're on their way there, okay?
Okay.
Hang on.
Deputies searched the outside of the home and saw no tracks in the snow. Although the TV was on, they decided to leave since there was no obvious forced entry or other alarming signals. In the meantime, Tiffany Williams called Johnny's father, John, and offered to take him to the house. By 2:27 a.m., Maydie's worry increased. So she drove to the house to join them and made the second 911 call.
Sheriff's office. Listen, ma'am, I am a concerned mother. My son was in Long Acre Lane with his girlfriend house sitting. Lisa Straub lives there because her parents went to Puerto Rico 2 days ago. I get a phone call about a half an hour ago from his friend Sharita that some girl named Tiffany called her saying that Johnny and Lisa were supposed to pick her up at 11 o'clock. And she was on the phone with Johnny, my son, when he was walking out of his house, his girlfriend's house with his girlfriend to come get her. And supposedly she heard a guy in the background screaming at my son and my son saying, "What do you want? Who are you? Get away from us," and what have you. Okay, 4 cop cars were already out at this residence. They're not there, and her car is in the driveway. I want to know where my son's at.
Okay.
I want to know where my son and his girlfriend are at. I want to know if they got abducted by whoever tried to assault them and rob them. And it's pretty funny that this girl named Tiffany, which is there right now by the residence, waits 2 hours to call somebody and report this.
Okay. Well, like I said, we were out there. There was nothing going on there.
Okay, where is my son and his girlfriend and her car's in the driveway?
How would I know that, ma'am?
I need to report my son missing.
Okay. Where are you at?
I'm coming up to the residence right now.
Well, which resident?
Lisa's house.
Okay. I need an address.
Long Acre Lane. Did I go too far, John?
And what's your name?
My name is Maite Vasquez Clarke. This is the street, I think, Mama. Long Acre, this is it. This is it.
Okay,
I'm with my cousin right now that's in the military.
Okay. What's your phone number?
My phone number is... I want this girl's plate number before we go anywhere so I can give it to the sheriff on the phone. And they're back pulling in the driveway? I want this plate number. Ma'am, I'm going to give you this plate number, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That this girl's car is driving. I'm going to stay calm. I am. Will you stay on the phone with me, ma'am, while I talk to this girl? Don't touch anything.
Okay, who are you going to talk to?
Okay, listen, here's the plate number. That is the girl's, the plate number of the car that this girl is driving that my son was supposedly pick up. Now, these 2 people right here, that's Johnny's phone? Oh, I don't know. It's my parents probably. Call them back.
Okay, what kind of vehicle is it?
What kind of vehicle is that you're driving? What is it? A Corolla? I have a feeling you set up my son. My son is missing. He's nowhere to be found. Do you want to tell the police what you just got done telling me on the phone? Okay, come here. Ma'am, I'm going to let you talk to her because I have her blocked in Lisa's house driveway. Okay?
Okay.
Here. You tell them what you I will. Hello?
Okay, what's going on?
Okay, my friend Johnny and Lisa, they were supposed to come pick me up, me and my friend from our house, and this was like 11 o'clock, and I was on the phone with his girlfriend Lisa, and then he hung up, and we all hung up. He said they were on their way, and then I called Johnny right back because I was going to tell him that I was going to run to the store, and then I would meet them at the house. Well, he was yelling at somebody like, I'm on. He goes, bro, who are you? And then I called. He called him right back, and he didn't answer. So I texted my friend Lisa's phone, and I was like, where are you? Are you guys okay? And they have not answered to me or nothing. They have not answered the phone, and I've been calling. So I drove out to their house after my friend's mom got home, and nobody answered the door. So I drove back by our house to see if maybe they went to his mom's house, and they wasn't there. So his dad called my phone, and I was like, do you want to ride out there? And he said, yeah, and I brought him out here. And now his mom's arguing with me, saying I set him up. And, you know, they're my friends, and I'm worried about them. And I don't have, you know, I'm worried about my friends because they were supposed to come pick me up, and they never showed up.
Okay, does anyone have, what's the son's name? What's her son's name? Is Johnny, is that his name?
Yeah, Johnny Clarke.
Does anyone have his phone number?
Yeah, I do, but his phone shut off.
Okay.
And we was calling, and it was ringing, and then it was shut off all of a sudden. And then I was calling my friend's phone, and I've been texting her, asking her if she's okay. Are they okay? Because they wasn't answering. And then I texted her, like, last I talked to you, I heard him arguing, and then now all of a sudden they haven't picked up the phone or nothing.
Okay. Are you out? Is there a couple officers? Where are you guys?
There's some officers out here.
Okay. Why don't you go talk to them and they can help you? Okay.
Okay. I'll put his mother back on the phone.
Okay. Actually, I don't need to talk to her. She just talk to the officers.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Again, deputies responded, spending more time checking the outside of the home. Although they had no probable cause to force entry, one officer allegedly told John, "As an officer, I can't tell you to go into the home, but as a parent, I would wait for us to leave, then go in." After heading to a nearby gas station, the parents and the other family members returned, taking the officer's advice. Mady waited in the car while the other two went to the back of the house and looked in. Peering through the blinds, John could see both Johnny and a phone lying on the ground. The father ran back to the front of the house and kicked the door in. Inside, he found his worst nightmare. Lisa was lying on the ground with a bag taped around her face, and his son was nearby with a bag on his head. He ripped both bags off. He prepared to do CPR, but as he lifted Johnny, he knew it was too late. Mady made the third distressing call to 911.
God. Oh my God. You need to get the police out to Long Acre Lane. My son is in the basement tied up at his house. I just saw him through the window. The police were out here earlier and did absolutely nothing. Both cell phones are on the ground and we can see the people. Him and his girlfriend are tied up in the basement.
Okay. All right. We'll get them out there.
Get them cops out here. I told them earlier. And they wouldn't listen to me.
You need to calm down. We'll get them out there. But yelling at me is
unconscious. They're unconscious, ma'am.
Oh, okay. You said they're unconscious?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Cell phones on their body. With cell phones on their bodies. Unclothed with pants on. She only has pants on. Okay. And their hands are tied.
Okay. All right. We'll get them out there, ma'am.
Oh my God.
Okay. I need you to calm down. We'll get them out there, okay?
Oh my God. Please hurry.
All right, we will.
Long Acre.
Okay.
Long Acre Lane.
I have the address. We'll get them out there.
Goodbye.
The friend he was on the phone with just before the incident, Tiffany Williams, also called 911 once the couple was found.
Lucas County 911.
Oh my God, we just called the police here.
On Long Acre?
Yes, but we need a rescue squad. He's got a bag over his head.
Okay.
Oh, we're going to see through the window, please.
We've got them on their way already, okay?
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Stay on the line. I'm going to transfer over to you. Okay?
Okay.
Once on the scene, later described as remarkably clean, investigators found parts of the house ransacked. Although it may have initially looked like a burglary, multiple pieces of jewelry were left behind along with envelopes of Iraqi currency. Material from cabinets and drawers were pulled out in the living room and kitchen area, and the contents were dumped on the floor. Lisa's purse was emptied. In the main bedroom, the mattress was pushed off the box springs, and clothes from the walk-in closet were pulled out and dumped on the floor. The dresser in the closet was overturned, and the panel leading into the attic space was opened. Lisa's bedroom door was damaged, as if she had barricaded herself in there before an attacker broke it open. Bags in the garage had been ripped open, and a piece of one was found upstairs. Besides those 2 rooms, the house was mostly undisturbed. Lisa's body was found facing east. Her hands were duct taped behind her back. Johnny's head was facing west. His feet were duct taped behind his back and also bound with the black tape. Both Johnny and Lisa had bags over their heads, with those bags secured with duct tape around their necks. The victims both had their upper clothing pulled up, while the lower halves were pulled down slightly, like they were dragged across the floor and staged in the kitchen. An empty wallet was found on Johnny's stomach. Outside, despite the recent inches of snow days before, there were no footprints around the home. It is almost certain that the attackers came in through the garage door, which leads into the kitchen. Investigators found damage to the interior of the service door from the garage, speculating that Johnny probably saw the killers as the couple was leaving and attempted to run back into the house. They think, given the fact that he weighed 200 pounds and was likely pressing his weight against the door, there would have been multiple people forcing it open on the other side. A cigarette was found near the door leading from the garage. The deputy who found it remarked that it was odd that there was no ash or smell of smoke in the house, but that cigarette had 2 sets of DNA that hit on existing samples. Once authorities started investigating, the events of the night became clear. At 10 p.m., Johnny Clarke picked up his girlfriend, Lisa Straub, from her job at TGI Fridays. They then returned to the home of her parents in Holland. Mary Beth and Jeff Straub were on a cruise celebrating their 25th wedding anniversary. Johnny and Lisa planned to leave to pick up Tiffany Williams and friend Zach Burkett, then return to the home to play pool. Williams spoke to detectives in an interrogation.
So you're on the phone. How long before you hear anything on the phone? What did you...
Like, as soon as he picked it up, he didn't say hello to me, but he was like, bro, what are you doing?
All right, I want to get this down again. Bro, what are you doing? Okay?
Okay, and he said that approximately 3 times.
Okay.
Then
all right, give me his voice. Was it, bro, what are you doing? Or, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah, just like that.
He sounded pissed?
Yeah.
Did he sound scared?
No.
He just sounded pissed?
Just pissed, yeah.
All right, so you hear, bro, what are you doing 3 times? Johnny sounds pissed. Mm-hmm. All right, then what'd he say?
Then the next thing he said was, who the hell are you?
How many times?
Once. And then that's when I heard the other person in the background, but I couldn't hear what he was saying.
So you overheard a voice in the background?
A guy voice.
You're sure it was a guy?
I'm positive it was a guy.
Have you ever heard it before?
No. Well, I really couldn't tell, you know what I mean,
right. But... Okay. All right, so then what?
Then he asked again, bro, what are you doing? After he said, who are
After
you?
The 3 times he said it here, he said it again.
Yeah, and that's when this guy was talking, so that's why I couldn't hear him, is because Johnny was saying, bro, what are you doing once again?
All right. Did you hear anything in the background, like a door close, footsteps? It sounded like Johnny was... Did he sound pissed here again? Mm-hmm. Did he sound pissed here?
Yeah.
Did he sound like he was out of breath?
No.
Did he sound like he was scared or nervous?
No.
Did he sound like he knew them people?
Mm-hmm. That's why I said I think that whoever did it, he knew, because, you know, if you knew Johnny...
How did he end the conversation with you?
Tiff, I'm going to call you back, and hung up.
Okay, now...
Williams said she didn't want to call the police because she knew Johnny would have drugs on him. Williams had confirmed that Johnny had angrily responded to someone he saw. She said it sounded as though Johnny knew the person and that she had heard another man's voice in the background. Johnny then told Tiffany that he would call her back. A phone log shows that Johnny called a friend at 10:41. That friend, who is not being named to protect his identity, later told Johnny's family that Johnny was waiting for Anthony Watson. Along with the cigarette, later crime scene analysis revealed several clues. Several sets of unknown DNA were found on the duct tape around the neck, Johnny's ankles, and in a pocket of Johnny's sweats. At this point, with the DNA evidence collected at the scene, police had their first suspects, but also a whole list of questions and many other possible suspects. The one obvious thing to investigators was that they were looking for something particular, whoever the attackers were. During the investigation, multiple people said that Johnny had talked about a safe with $100,000 being in the home. However, the Straubs said that there was no money in their house other than the $40 they left behind for the couple to order pizza. The single cigarette butt found matched with DNA of Sam Williams and Cameo Petaway, and was in the house where Johnny Clarke and Lisa Straub were murdered. Despite having the same last name, Sam is not related to Tiffany Williams, one of the initial primary suspects. On January 22, 2011, Sam Williams was arrested for the double murder. At the time, he had no idea that he was a suspect in the murder, as he didn't know the couple at all. Williams's arrest began a whole new twist in the case, one that remains unresolved to this day. The self-described man of the streets was involved in some shady business and had a warrant out for a domestic violence case, which was what he initially thought the arrest was for. While recalling the events of his arrest, Williams said as he crossed the street to buy cigarettes, his world exploded. He said, "All these marked cars came rolling up. The US Marshals and the detectives had pulled their guns on me and laid me down to arrest me. I had a warrant for one of my domestic violence cases that I was on probation for. I'm like, I've got 30 days in jail, I don't want to do the probation." As the US Marshal was putting handcuffs on me, I said, "You really come and get people for misdemeanor domestic violence cases?" Ironically, the accused was studying criminal justice. He was also involved in promoting prostitution with his girlfriend, which was his second guess as to why he had been detained. Throughout his interrogation, Williams told detectives he wanted to speak to his attorney. When his case eventually went to trial in July of the following year, the statements to detectives were suppressed because of a violation of Williams's Miranda rights. The most damning information was his denial that he had ever been in the home. It was a question that his defense attorney struggled with at his trial.
That's as good as we got.
Yeah, that's good.
That house look familiar to you at all?
No,
You ever been to that house? It's in Springfield Township.
no,
Okay. You sure?
I'm positive.
All right.
100% positive.
All right. Some more names?
Yeah. You know, I'm gonna throw some names at you. You know, you tell me. Tone Watson. You know Tone. Anthony Tone. Always hangs out with a.
I know a couple of Tonys, but not. You don't go by Tone.
Well, Anthony, Tony. Hangs with a dude, mixed dude, Zach, Fat Zach. You know, Fat
Who's the
Zach.
Tonys you know?
Yeah.
I know one from the east side. Starlet, my baby mom's other baby dad, Anthony Wolf.
Wolf, W-O-L-F-E, or?
They spell their name different. W-O...
E-L-F?
W-U-L-F.
Okay.
W.U.
Kind of a
I
French-
That's Starla's
That's her other son's.
baby's daddy.
Yeah,
Pretty
whatever you want to
Okay.
call
Okay. What about a Chris? You know any Chris's? Chris Watson? Chris? You don't know this kid, Zach? Fat Zach, they call him. He's kind of a mix. White kid, black kid, about 17.
it. You got some pictures?
Yeah,
I
we
might
got,
be able
we
to-
got some pictures
Yeah, we got some
around. Yeah,
pictures
we can
to
get
show
you
you.
some pictures.
Names I don't. I mean, somebody says
What about
his name's
nicknames?
Frank,
I'm
and
that
he's. You know what I'm saying?
See, I don't
Somebody, he's
remember.
Frank, and his actual name is Sam.
I'm terrible at
You
names.
know what I mean? So I really don't.
What about
know.
a dude named Peanut? How about a nickname? Somebody like Peanut or Manny. Somebody they call Manny.
No,
You deal much with dudes from South?
no.
South side?
I'm East Sider all the way. You guys see it. The East side and
Casinos?
South side does not get along at all. Like, seriously.
Soon after the interview, Williams's calls were recorded from the county jail and allegedly taken out of context when presented to the jury. News station 11 Investigates claims to have seen the full transcripts and agrees to this. The conversations included snippets of Williams telling his co-accused brother, Stephen Pettaway, "That was supposed to be me and you, but you know little bro had to step in to take your spot, man." Stephen responds, "You know he didn't do it right like I would have did it right." To which Williams responds, "No, but he did it good enough to make something happen." Again, the prosecutors pounced on the call, telling the jury that they were talking about the night of the murder and how Cameo had to go because his brother was in jail, adding that Cameo didn't do it right, possibly by leaving behind the cigarette. However, Williams maintained Stephen was instrumental in setting up the prostitution business, and that he was talking about a prostitution trip he took Cameo on to Pittsburgh because Stephen was in jail. Cameo Pettaway was tried in a separate courtroom from Williams. However, his case was dismissed by Judge James Bates, saying the prosecutors only presented the cigarette as evidence against Pettaway. He stated that anyone could have dropped the cigarette. The state did not have incriminating jailhouse calls or testimony from a snitch. In Williams's case, testimony from the jailhouse snitch, Eric Yingling, likely was the deciding factor. Yingling was in the county jail in December 2011 for failing to pay child support. He told the jury that he befriended Williams and that during a late-night conversation, Williams said he was tormented by the sound of the crinkling bag as Lisa Straub tried to breathe. He named Williams, Pettaway, and another Eastside man, Eric Taylor, as the killers. Although there were several problems with Yingling's testimony, including the inclusion of Taylor, who was never considered a strong suspect by police and was not charged, his words were instrumental in the conviction. In addition, all the details that Yingling shared were publicly known when he talked to the police. He freely admitted that he was looking for a deal and that his wife looked up many of the details. Yingling was paid thousands of dollars. In May 2021, WTOL 11 lead investigator Brian Duggar interviewed Sam Williams.
I was in the county jail. Didn't know who he was. I was very skeptical about him, first and foremost. I have overheard another guy that was incarcerated that was a little bit older, pretty much kind of knew that he was somebody that had told previous in the past, and kind of said, you know, hey, that guy snitches. So instantly my red flags had came up and I just stayed away. He did try to engage in conversation with me. So for me to say that he didn't would be me lying. He did. However, I did not have not one single conversation with him about anything. And when I say anything, I mean anything. Not the case, not my life, not who I was, what I was arrested for, nothing at all.
So all the things that he talked about at trial, that was all known? I guess it was in newspapers, it was known information?
Yes, to my knowledge, everything that he had brought up at trial had been either published in the newspaper or it was placed on search warrants and people could obtain that from public information.
Even the Iraqi dinar information?
Absolutely. They was talking about the Iraqi currency on a website called Mock Form.
What's the website called, Sam?
It's called Mock. I have it right here. I have the actual article. I had somebody print it off and send it to me.
Mock Forum?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I've seen that. So they were talking about that. So it's possible that he could have seen it there or somebody told him that information.
Well, he admitted in my trial that his wife had researched my case.
The biggest question in the case is how Sam Williams allegedly got from the Bottom Line bar on Star Avenue to the Straub household 30 minutes away. Based on a conversation between Tiffany Williams and Johnny Clarke, police believe that Clarke and Straub were attacked at 10:41 p.m. A call between Williams and the woman he was having an affair with, Destiny Madrid, at 10:27 p.m., pinged off a cell phone tower near the Bottom Line bar. At that stage, Williams said he was calling Madrid to see when she would get to the bar. In an October 11, 2011 interview with detectives, Madrid repeatedly tells police that she was with Sam that night and they later went to the Bedford Inn. During the interview, retired Toledo detective Tom Ross, who was working for the prosecutor's office, shushes her.
I tell you that you're not on the video with the Bottom Line on that night.
What do you mean?
The Bottom Line has video.
Right.
You or Sam are not on that video that night.
Detective did not.
Williams says that texts and Facebook posts would prove his story. News station 11 Investigates had reportedly tried multiple times to have Facebook provide the post but has not been successful. The police have not returned 2 phones of Williams's, though his family has made multiple attempts to get them back. Police did receive a court order to obtain his text messages, but there has been no explanation why they were not used in the trial. Ultimately, he was convicted of aggravated murder, burglary, and kidnapping. His lawyers were able to convince the jury not to sentence him to death successfully, but he was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole.
We, the jury, having found Samuel Todd Williams guilty beyond a reasonable doubt.
However, the case remains open because of several sets of DNA found on the duct tape, inside Johnny's sweatpants, and on the cell phone pad and battery. There are at least 4 sets of unknown female DNA and at least 1 set of an unidentified male. There could be other explanations for that DNA being on the tape, including it being left during the manufacturing process. The DNA was compared against samples from dozens of people interviewed in the case, but the other DNA is harder to explain. If Williams was set up, he was a ripe target. He has been charged 3 times for domestic violence. In 2006, he was found guilty of threatening to kill his victim. In 2007, he was involved in a fight and charged with felonious assault after punching a man. In 2010, he was found guilty of pushing his ex-wife to the ground and biting her wrist. And in 2011, before his arrest for murder, Williams was found guilty of going to his ex-wife's house, kicking in the door, and threatening to send the woman in his car to beat her up. Another person of interest was Alex Cusino, who had fought with Clarke about money in the past. On the night of the murder, Zach Burkett made several calls to the victim and was at a nearby IHOP with Cusino at the time. In November, Anthony Watson, who Clarke was supposed to meet up with that night, told police Cusino began calling him repeatedly. He said she often asked about what he knew about the investigation. More concerning was a jealous text message that Cusino sent to a woman days after the murder. She revealed the message at the trial of Sam Williams. "I do this, fam. Watch the news. They get duct tape and tied up and left for dead," it read. However, Cusino denied being involved, claiming she was driving around with her boyfriend and smoking weed at the time of the killing. Her DNA was taken and did not match the unknown DNA at the scene. Meanwhile, in an initial March interview, Anthony Watson told police that the men were planning to meet up. But when it got too late into the night, he told Johnny that he had to get up early for school in the morning and would not be able to meet. But in November, Watson was brought from the county jail after being arrested on a felony burglary charge to meet with the detective again. He wanted to tell of a conversation he had weeks before with a woman. He said the woman placed herself at the scene of the crime. He also named Sam Williams. The media already knew that Williams had been arrested by this point. Since Watson cooperated with detectives, there is no paperwork or testimony. On September 19, 2018, an unknown person gunned down Watson outside his Macomber apartment. The murder remains unsolved. DNA testing has come a long way since then. The state has also opened a cold case unit, but the unit will only get involved if the prosecutor or investigative agency asks for help. The state confirmed that this has not happened in this case. Williams remains adamant that he had no involvement. Amid the drama and mystery surrounding the double murder, Clarke's parents found themselves in their own criminal cases. On December 26, 2014, John and Maddie Clarke allegedly followed Tiffany Williams into an alleyway and shot at her, just missing her head. The couple then fled the scene. Authorities arrested John after finding him hiding in a back crawlspace bedroom of his home. Police say they found him with rolling papers and marijuana in his pocket. He was arrested and charged with felonious assault, obstruction of justice, drug abuse, and drug possession. Maddie Clarke was arrested and charged with obstruction of justice after answering the door for police and telling them there was no one else inside. According to an official police complaint, she later admitted that she knew her husband was hiding inside the home. Retired Toledo Police Lieutenant Frank Ramirez was also accused of involvement in the murder plot and sentenced to 48 months behind bars. Maddie was sentenced to 24 months behind bars and John to 4 years. Just a year before, the mother was arrested for menacing after she went to Burkett's mother's home and shone a light inside the windows. She was also accused of driving by the Burkett residence every night and saying she would hunt the victim and her son. The menacing charge was later dismissed. Following WTOL 11's coverage of the case, Tiffany Williams came forward in 2021, saying she would fully cooperate with investigators. Williams said she is sober and in a better place than when the murders happened. She maintains that she didn't call the police when she was at the house because she knew Clarke was selling drugs and didn't want to be the snitch. She said she is not involved and does not believe that Burkett is either. But she does have a suspect in mind and is willing to talk to the police about that person, even agreeing to testify if needed. After 11 years, the case remains largely unsolved. Large parts of the background from this call were collected from WTOL's investigation, which was very helpful when making this video. In November 2021, ex-Commando Collin Reeves climbed over his neighbor's fence in Somerset, England. Once inside the home, he stabbed husband and wife Stephen and Jennifer Chappell to death as their children slept upstairs. Reeves then called emergency services to report the murders.
You're through to the police. What's the location of your emergency?
I was stabbed.
Right, when's
Neighbour's husband and the mother.
Right, where are you at the moment?
Dragon Rise.
Okay. Rise, is that Dragon Rise?
Yes.
All right, okay. And are you safe at the moment?
Yes.
Right, have you got any injuries? Whereabouts have you been stabbed?
No, not me. The neighbours.
The neighbour's been stabbed by who?
By me.
By you?
Yes.
Right, okay. And where are they? Are they in their house?
Yes.
All right, stay on the line for me, okay? How bad are the injuries?
They've both been stabbed.
Right, several times. All right, stay on the line for me, okay? Are you in your house on your own?
No, I'm with my wife, my children in bed.
All right, okay. All right, tell me exactly what's happened. Tell me exactly what's happened. Take a deep breath.
I went round.
Yeah.
With a knife.
Okay.
And I've stabbed both of them.
All right, how many times?
I don't know, a couple of times each, not 2 or 3 times each, maybe.
Okay. Are they still conscious and breathing?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. All right, stay on the phone to me, okay? What's your name?
Collin Reeves.
All right, Collin. How are you spelling your surname?
R-E-E-V-E-S.
All right. And did you say your wife is with you?
Sorry?
Did you say your wife is with you?
Yes.
All right. What kind of knife did you use?
It was a dagger.
Okay. All right, just stay on the line for me, okay? We're going to get some help out there as soon as we can. All right. How long ago did this happen?
About 20 minutes.
All right. So you stabbed them both several times?
Yes.
Where's the knife now?
It's in my house.
Okay. What happened when you left? What was their situation when you left?
They were like, oh, he was lying on the floor. She was lying on the sofa.
Right, okay. And were they awake? Were they...
No, I think they were sort of drifting
And what room were they in?
in the living room.
Okay.
The 34-year-old's wife, Collin Reeves, who can be heard in the call, said that minutes before the attack, she had told him she wanted to try a separation. The ex-royal engineer had served in the British Army between 2002 and 2017. Between 2008 and 2009, he was in Afghanistan but never spoke about what he saw there. She said he had not been the same since, and he had told her that his head's not in the right place. Collin had been working as a lorry driver. Although the families had previously had a good relationship, it had deteriorated when the Chappells got a second car and obstructed the Reeves parking space. The brutal murder was allegedly a result of this long-running dispute. 33-year-old Jennifer Chappell was stabbed 6 times in her upper chest and shoulder, causing fatal injuries to a major blood vessel in her heart. Her 36-year-old husband, Stephen, was found close to the rear door and suffered 6 stab wounds and 3 other minor injuries. The weapon used was a ceremonial dagger he had been given when he left the army in December 2017. Kaylee said she then heard screaming soon afterward the conversation about separating and saw the ceremonial dagger was missing from the frame where it was usually displayed. During court proceedings, it came to light that just 10 days before the killings, Collin allegedly verbally abused Jennifer outside her house following an earlier exchange between the victim and Kaylee. The accused admitted to manslaughter but denied murdering his neighbors, claiming he was suffering an abnormality of mental functioning at the time of the killings. Collin was convicted of murder at Bristol Crown Court on the 8th day of his trial and handed a life sentence, with a minimum term of 38 years. However, this was appealed and subsequently denied in August 2022. Newly unemployed Grant Amato poured thousands of dollars into accessing a Bulgarian webcam model's sexually explicit photos and videos. He did this night after night, hour after hour. When his family gave him an ultimatum in January 2019, he responded in an unimaginable way.
Right, and who are we checking on?
His name is Cody Amato. His last name is Amato.
Okay, and what was the reason for the well-being check?
He said the time that we worked together, he didn't show up for work today, and nobody can get a hold of him. His phone's going straight to voicemail, and he's not like that at all. He would never just not show up or not answer or not call. So no one's heard from him since about 10 p.m. last night, so we're all kind of worried.
All right, and I know you said that it's not like him to do this. Is there any other reason for concerns, like health conditions or anything like that?
Not from him. Like, I know his brother was at home, and I know his brother has been sick. So that was really my main concern, but I'm one of the only people that knows that. That's why I felt like I really needed to make this call. His brother does suffer from depression, and I know it's been bad recently, but I'm not assuming the worst, but like this is just very out of character.
Okay, the police department on the record line. My name is Chuluota.
Hi, my name is. I called a couple hours ago to do a welfare check on a friend of mine. I hadn't heard back anything, but one of my other friends did, and I just wanted to follow up on a person. He heard that they went to our friend's house and there was no answer at the door, and his brother's car was gone.
What's the address?
And they said they don't have the address is.
Okay, yeah, we still have officers out there. It looks like they haven't made contact with anyone as of yet, but I'll have them give you a phone call back with the outcome.
Okay, I am concerned that something has come up harm to my friend. I know that his brother struggles with depression and I believe suicidal ideation as well. He mentioned it to me, and I'm very worried.
Okay, yes ma'am. We still have officers out there. So as soon as they're done, they'll give you a phone call back. What is your name and phone number?
Sorry,
Yes. My name is. And my phone number is. Oh, sorry. Okay, you're one of the friends? Yes. Okay. Have them give the phone call back when they clear the home, when they leave the home. All right, thank you. All right, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
When Grant's brother, Cody Amato, didn't show up for work and didn't answer his phone on January 25th, his coworkers suspected something was wrong. It had been 5 years since Cody missed a day of work. They called the police and asked them to check out the Amato home. When Seminole County deputies arrived at the house in the Chuluota suburb in Orlando, Florida, discovered a gruesome scene. 31-year-old Cody had been shot below the eye. He was lying dead on the floor, still wearing his nursing scrubs and with his work lunchbox a few feet away. They found 61-year-old Margaret dead in her desk chair, and 59-year-old Chad was in the kitchen with 2 bullet wounds in his head. He was also dead. Grant Amato disappeared, but after a 24-hour manhunt, police took him in for questioning. He said his family was alive when he last saw them. The 29-year-old was arrested and charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder. In the interrogation room, older brother Jason was brought in. The charges brought Grant's dark past to front and center. The suspected murderer was a nurse who lived with his parents and one of his 2 brothers, Cody. His elder brother, Jason, lived elsewhere. Although Grant went to nursing school, he later failed as a nurse anesthetist. The year before the brutal killing, while he was working at Advent Health Orlando, he was arrested on suspicion of stealing drugs and improperly administering medication. The hospital suspended Grant while the investigation was underway, later firing him. The charges against him were later dropped, but his sudden unemployment kicked off the chain of events that would leave 3 family members dead. With extra time on his hands, Grant began spending hours playing online video games and surfing the web. Once he stumbled on a social platform that allowed people to pay for sexual photos and videos, Grant became obsessed with webcam model Sylvia Venceslavova. The woman, who went by Sylvie, was paid thousands of dollars by the accused for him to watch her online. He also sent the model tips in forms of flowers, clothes, and sex toys. But since Grant was unemployed, he was unable to keep up with his new expensive habit, so he started stealing from his father, Chad, and brother, Cody. It's estimated that the total was to the tune of $200,000. At first, the Amato family tried to get the ex-nurse professional help and checked him into a South Florida rehabilitation clinic for people with sex and internet addictions. In early January 2019, Grant came home from the facility. His father gave him a list of rules to follow: get a job, go to therapy, and stop communicating with Sylvie. On the night of the 24th, Chad found out his son had not stopped, so he told Grant to pack his bags and leave the house. That's when, according to prosecutors, Grant shot and killed his mother, father, and brother. It's alleged that he killed each of his family members, then staged the scene to make it look like a murder-suicide carried out by his brother Cody. He placed a gun close to him to support it. Additionally, his father was also found wearing a gun in a holster on his right hip, but because of the way the holster was facing, Chad would have had to draw the weapon with his left hand. He was right-handed. The theory was quickly thrown out since the 4 shell cases found at the crime scene didn't match the guns or the bullets in the victims. The murder weapon was never found. During the court proceedings, prosecutors showed jurors hundreds of photos and videos of Sylvie but didn't interview her. Whether or not the 2 maintained online communication remains unknown. Grant's brother, Jason, testified about the family's problems and seeing his dad and brother, Cody, for the last time.
He wasn't allowed to communicate with her anymore. And that was the last time that I saw Cody and my dad.
The only surviving family member got emotional when he recalled finding out the devastating news.
It was pretty scary. So they, came into the building and the whole building got shut down, and later gave me very general details that there was a woman and 2 males in their 30s found in the house. So I just tried to answer. No, I'm good. So I just tried to answer their questions as best as possible.
Grant Amato denied any involvement in the killings, maintaining his innocence even after a Seminole County jury convicted him of first-degree murder. They rejected the death penalty, so a judge sentenced him to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The murderer appealed his conviction, but the outcome of that is yet to be determined.
Hello? Okay, where are you located? I'm sorry, ma'am, I can't hear you. Are you able to tell me where you're located? Are you at a...
553 Sheldon Avenue Southeast. Please hurry now.
Okay, I got Sheldon. What's the number?
553. Hurry, please hurry.
553 Sheldon. Okay, can you tell me what's going on there?
Can you just hurry up, please? I'm gonna die. He's trying to kill me. He already killed my name. You need to hurry up, please.
Okay, ma'am, I'll start the police that way. Can you tell me what your name is? Who's the person who's causing trouble there? Okay, I've got a call entered, so we're going to get the police started that way, all right? Can you tell me what room of the house you're in?
He never imagined that the homeless man who lived in his Grand Rapids church would one day become the target of a manhunt, suspected of killing 2 women. Neither woman survived the attack. The church's temporary tenant was Darrell Demon Brown, who Reverend Robert Dean described as helpful, unassuming, and mild-mannered. A couple of years before the double murder, Dean had spotted Brown rummaging through the dumpster behind the church. He had seen Brown around the neighborhood before, but this time he looked different. During a conversation, the Reverend found out the man was homeless, so he offered him a room in the church. 3 months into Brown's stay, Dean said he received a phone call from a woman who'd been dating the church's temporary resident. When she arrived at the church office, she explained that Brown had forbidden her to talk to any men, something her job required. The woman wanted Dean to counsel the man, hoping he could convince him to be less possessive. It was at that point Brown himself barged into the pastor's office. What happened next stunned the pastor. As the woman opened her mouth to speak, Brown lunged at her as if he was preparing to strike her. Reverend Dean told the man not to come back, saying he needed professional help. When Brown later became the prime suspect in the murder of 2 women, Dean's thoughts returned to the bizarre scene in his office. Fast forward to March 13, 2019. A mile south of Grand Rapids' bustling downtown, 3 police officers responded at 553 Sheldon Southeast, 7 minutes and 41 seconds after Griffin's call was disconnected. There was no way for the officers responding that morning to know that their actions would soon become the subject of intense scrutiny. A police officer knocked on the front door 3 times with his fist and once with a door knocker. No response. He jiggled the doorknob, locked. Officers asked dispatchers to contact the woman again, but dispatchers said she did not answer. Another officer, knocking on a side door, found it too was locked. They peered inside and it was empty. 3 minutes and 42 seconds after they arrived, the officers left the scene without making contact with anyone. The second 911 call came 2 hours and 18 minutes later.
Garrett!
911 emergency.
Come to 553 Sheldon. My sister's not moving.
What's the address?
553 Sheldon. There's blood everywhere. My sister's not moving.
Okay, stand on line. You said shirt?
553
Sheldon.
Sheldon Southeast. It's a yellow house. Please hurry up.
553 Sheldon Avenue Southeast, so correct?
Yes, please.
You said she's not breathing.
I don't know. She's not moving. Hold her head, please.
Okay, alrighty. Stand on line with me. I do have fire and police on the way. Stand on line with me. We're going to connect over to medical, okay?
Please.
And you said that there's blood everywhere?
There's blood everywhere.
Did she cut herself or try to commit suicide?
I don't know. She's doing her job and she's
Medical examiner.
Grand Rapids here. I pre-alerted already for 553 Sheldon Avenue Southeast.
553 Sheldon Southeast?
Yes. Pre-alert already for a female there not breathing. Caller says she sees a lot of blood.
All right. Caller?
Oh, please.
Ma'am?
Oh, my Lord.
Ma'am, I have help on the way. I have a few questions. Tell me.
Is she back here? Come on, is she back here? Oh, my God.
Ma'am, I need to know what's going on there. Tell me what's going on.
Not a man with her brother. I don't know. She's naked. I usually stop over here before I go to work to my granny's house, and her friend was over here outside. We came in, and I didn't even come upstairs. Her friend did, and she here naked, blood everywhere. Please.
Okay.
Tiana!
All right. How old is she?
She's 20. She born in 94.
Okay.
94. She's about 20.
All right. I need to.
She's not moving, Tiana!
Ma'am, they're on the way. I need to ask you, is she breathing? Ma'am, is she breathing?
I'm not a ma'am. No, I'm her brother.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Please come on.
They're on their way there. I need to know what's breathing. Med 1.
Like her arms broken.
Med 1 established 911 on.
Okay.
Well, you can stay on.
I'm sorry, what was that?
You want to stay on.
Okay. Where is she bleeding from?
I don't know. It just
somebody stabbed her. Right here.
Yeah, somebody stabbed her or something.
She's been stabbed?
Yes, it's blood everywhere. My little sister is naked. Please come home.
Okay. Sir, they're on the way, okay?
All right.
Is she breathing?
No, I don't know. I don't know how to tell. She's not moving. I'm yelling her name. She's not moving.
Okay.
Please.
All right, they're on the way there. I need you to tell me now every time she takes a breath in. I need to know if she's breathing.
Oh, no, she's not moving. It's like she's
not breathing.
Everywhere, like she's been bleeding for a long time.
Okay.
Sanford Cummings II had found his beloved, bubbly, and fiercely loyal sister lying dead on the floor of an upstairs bedroom. Someone had shot her 4 times, including once in the face. Kiana Griffin had turned 25 just days earlier. Grand Rapids police returned to 553 Sheldon for the second time that day just 7 minutes later. The victim's aunt, Chuluota Baber Bay, was found under a blanket on her bed upstairs. It appeared the killer had shot the 47-year-old in the back of the head as she lay watching an iPad propped up on a pillow beside her. The tablet was still playing when police found her, earbuds still lodged in her ears. The first dispatcher had missed the crucial words, "He already killed my auntie." The homeowner, Jacqueline Baber Bay, had been at work since 8 a.m. and found the 4th resident was unaccounted for. Chuluota's boyfriend was missing. The boyfriend had lived in the home for at least 2 years by then, but the family knew him only as Jay. He didn't have a job, didn't use Facebook, and nobody knew anything about his family. All the victims' loved ones knew that Jay had gone to jail for failing to pay child support. It turned out to be one of his stints in lockup that helped reveal his true identity. Detectives found jail mail in the closet. It was between Darrell Brown and Chuluota. In one of them, he told her his name but said he goes by Jay. A neighbor was among who confirmed Darrell Brown was, indeed, the man who called himself Jay after seeing the mugshot pictures. While searching an alley northwest of 553 Sheldon hours after the murders, a detective captain spotted a hastily tossed box of ammunition. It later matched the casings found at the crime scene. The weapon they found had been stolen in 2017, and the female owner had filed harassment complaints. In that report, her ex-boyfriend, known as Jay, had been harassing her by cell phone. The two had dated when the gun was stolen. According to the police, in the days after the murders, officers canvassed the area for surveillance cameras and found multiple videos showing Brown's path of travel that afternoon. Even as detectives scoured 553 Sheldon for evidence, cameras subsequently captured Brown on foot a mile north of the crime scene 2 hours after the bodies had been discovered. The Grand Rapids Children's Museum on Sheldon at Fulton Street was among his post-murder stops. The museum's internal camera showed Brown entering the building at 3:24 p.m., the day of the murders, and exiting 12 minutes later at 3:36 p.m. An employee told a news station that Brown had told the front desk he knew someone inside the building. Museum staff reportedly told Brown that he could not wander around. Around 20 minutes later, a business's surveillance camera captured him walking in the area of Leonard Street and Turner Avenue Northwest. Police later discovered one of Brown's former girlfriends had dropped him off in that neighborhood. Soon after, it seems Darrell Demon Brown vanished. Sadly, it wasn't the end of the family's turmoil. A deadly fire tore through it in July 2020. Firefighters found 65-year-old Jacqueline Baber Bay and her 5-year-old grandson, Emarion Cummings, in a second-floor bedroom at the back of the house. Both died of smoke inhalation. The fire was caused by candles lit for a vigil held the night before to honor Chuluota Baber Bay and Kiana Griffin. They were left burning on the enclosed porch. After the double murder, the family said the responding officers and 911 dispatcher had failed the victims. They believe the police essentially gave Brown a 3-hour head start in his quest to evade capture. His criminal history has come to light since then. It includes a 2005 arrest for felony assault on a woman, not Chuluota Baber Bay. Court documents outline allegations Brown brutally beat his then live-in girlfriend. The records say that he bound her with cords, kicked her in the face, gagged her, urinated on her, and doused her with lighter fluid. All the while, her 4 children, one of whom is also Brown's child, were sleeping upstairs. She got away the following morning by getting on her daughter's school bus and asking the driver to take off. The woman filed a report with the Grand Rapids Police Department, but said in court that she didn't want Brown to get in trouble because she still loved him, knew he needed help, and didn't think he would get it in prison. Ultimately, a judge ruled there was enough evidence to send the felony kidnapping case to trial, but it ended in a guilty plea. Brown was ultimately convicted of a misdemeanor domestic violence charge. According to the police report on the double homicide, Brown's 2005 victim said he had 2 guns during the attack and told her he would kill her and then kill himself. The community had no idea he had such a violent past. Their only criticism was that he didn't have a job. But the family says Kiana Griffin did not like Brown either. Anya Griffin said her daughter was considering moving out because she did not like seeing him daily. However, he was Chuluota Baber Bay's first real boyfriend, and the woman wanted to see her happy. Brown has not been found to this day. In May 2010, an off-duty Pierce County Sheriff's deputy shot and killed his wife's parents in his Gig Harbor home. After a standoff with coworkers, he turned the gun on himself. From the neighbor's garden shed, his mother-in-law made this call.
911, we're reporting. I'd like to report gunshot wound.
Someone got shot where?
Below her chest on...
Okay, but where's she at?
Oh,
and how did this person get shot? On purpose or by accident?
On purpose or by accident? Purpose.
Okay, hold on the line for the fire department. And where's the shooter at?
I'm sorry.
Where's the shooter at?
Deputy Myron.
Lisa transferring the caller saying that there's a female that shot.
The female is shot. Her husband is shot as well.
Where at?
Where is your husband? She didn't know. She came out up the back way. I can give you the address where the shot took place.
I need to know where the patients are.
We need to know where your husband is. One patient is...
Okay, is that a house, apartment, or mobile home?
House.
Okay, your name?
Tom Stevens.
Okay, how old is she?
Ma'am, age? 67.
Okay, and is she the way she's talking to you? Is she breathing?
Yes.
Okay.
She is half sitting up, supported by one arm.
Okay, and where was she shot?
On her left side, probably a little bit upper stomach. Of like the higher part of the stomach.
What was she shot with?
What were you shot with? Some kind of a handgun.
And when did this happen?
When did this happen? Sometime in the last half hour.
Okay, in the last 30 minutes. Okay, I'm going to give you some instructions here in a minute, but right now I'm going to let the police take over. Go ahead. All right, thanks, sir.
Away from the window.
Sir?
Yes.
So do you know where she was when this occurred?
Can you say the address again?
And what's the street number?
Yeah. You keep saying it's Deputy Myron's house.
So what?
Myron.
Deputy Myron's house?
Yes.
Is she Deputy Myron's wife?
What's your relationship with Myron? Mother-in-law. Name. Move back towards me, please.
Okay, does she know who shot him?
Deputy Myron.
This is Deputy Meyer's mother-in-law?
Yes.
And Deputy Meyer shot her?
Deputy Myron shot you? Yes.
Is this Myers or Myron?
Myron or Myron?
M-Y-R-O-N?
M-Y-R-O-N.
Okay, do we know where Deputy Myron is?
I do not.
Okay, does she?
No, she does not know. She said that she told her not to leave.
And she got away?
Yes.
Did she leave in a car on foot?
She left on foot.
And who else is shot? Her husband?
Her husband.
Okay, and what about his wife?
You know about Deputy Myron's wife? She's in Federal Way at the hospital where her daughter's a patient.
Okay, where's the father-in-law at? Is he still over it?
She thinks that he's on in the driveway.
He's in the driveway of your house?
Of their house, of Deputy Myron's house.
Okay, so is there any way that I can talk to her?
Yeah, we can try. Here.
Hello? Hi, this is the dispatcher at the Sheriff's Department. What's your name? Susan Mulcanen, M-U-L-C-A-N. Okay, Susan, did Deputy Myron shoot you and your husband? Yes. Okay, where did he go? Well, he was downstairs on the driveway arguing with his daughter. Is he still at the house? What? Is he still at the house? I don't know because I crawled through the woods and got away from there. I came over here. This is 2 houses down. Okay, and who else was in the house with him? Well, I was up in the apartment above the garage, and he and my husband were down in the driveway. Okay, what name does he go by? Does he go by Alan? Alan, yeah. Okay. What kind of gun did he shoot you with? Some kind of a handgun. Do you know if there's anyone else beside your husband and Myron there? Our granddaughter was there with me. What's her name? Kristen. Kristen? Is that Alan's daughter? Yes. And she was in the house when you left? She was up in the apartment with me, and then he took her outside. So they were down in the driveway. Okay, so Alan and Kristen were in the driveway when the last time you saw them? Yes. Do you think that they were leaving? I really don't know. What kind of car does he drive? Oh, I don't know. He has a police car and he has kind of an older sedan. What color is the older sedan? Kind of a grayish. And it's a 4-door? I think so. Okay, where were you shot at? Lower, like in the lower steps area. Well, you sound like you're doing pretty good. Do you know where your husband was shot at? I don't know, but Alan told me he was dead. So Alan told you that he was dead. Okay. So Alan and your husband got in a confrontation in the driveway. He shot your husband in the driveway. Then he came up to the apartment and shot you. Yes. And then he took his daughter and went back outside. They were out in the driveway arguing, and she was crying, and I'm not sure where they are now. Okay, but the wife is not there. The wife is in Seattle, right? She's at Federal Way. In Federal Way. Okay, I think we have her on the phone already. You're doing a great job. Oh, you got her on the phone? Okay. Yeah, we have her on the phone, and I'm going to keep you on the phone. Okay, now, are there any other cars that you can remember that are parked there? Well, our own little car was there. It's a maroon car. Okay, where were the keys to that? Probably in my husband's pocket. And what kind of car is it? Oh, like a Lumina. And is it in the driveway? Well, it was. I don't know if anybody left with it. Now, Ellen took my purse, which had all of my keys and credit cards, so I don't know where all that went. Okay, Alan took your purse after he shot you? Yes. Oh. Now, how bad is your wound? Are you in a lot of pain? Well, it's starting to kind of sting there. I mean, the whole body hurt at first, and then, I was having a lot of trouble breathing when I was trying to walk or crawl. I kept falling. All right. I'm on the floor, and yeah, it's kind of stinging there. Mostly my back hurts, so I don't know if the wound. I don't know. I don't know if it's affected my lungs or what. Okay, it sounds like we're going to have someone over there with you in just a minute, and as soon as they can secure that house, we're going to get medical aid in there for you, okay? Thank you.
what was going on today that set Alan off like this? Well, they've had a very sticky situation. They've been a kind of an abusive husband for a while, but they've had a daughter with an eating disorder with depression, and she tried to kill herself and was put into the hospital on Tuesday. Yeah. The children are somewhat estranged from their father, and she didn't want her father to see her. And then she was moved to another hospital and go away last night. Mother and her boyfriend are there to look at her lunch. She was there, and she was angry, and it's like we've all been against them. And so he's angry at his wife, too, of course. Okay. And she's planning not to go back. All right. So was planning even before is he a drinker? Had he been drinking or anything today, or? Don't know. As far as I know, he hasn't been, but I don't know. You're not sure? Okay. Hello? Hi, we're having a hard time finding your house. What does your house look like? There's cops here. There's cops there? Yeah. Okay, can I talk to one of them? Gentlemen in the... Yes, we're good. I'm on the phone with dispatch for 911. I can take you right to her. It's 9922 58th Street. No idea about anybody's location except for her. We came inside and turned off the lights and locked doors because she thought he might be around. You guys are totally fine. No, sir, or no, ma'am. Yeah, I was here the whole time. Hello? Okay, I need to know if they're ready for the fire department to come in. The fire department? Yeah, they're coming in. The fire department is coming in right now? Okay, I'm going to let you go. Bye-bye. Fire's on the line. Thanks. Okay, bye.
The Myrons had a rocky marriage. According to friends and family, Alan Myron was abusive towards his wife and had an estranged relationship with his children. The father had previously threatened to cause physical harm to himself. The sheriff's officials were unaware of those earlier incidents until he shot his wife's parents and turned the gun on himself. The 11-year sheriff's department veteran was allegedly angry at his in-laws for interfering with his marriage with their daughter, Sarah Myron. The victims, 70-year-old Monty Multanen and his wife 68-year-old Susan, had arrived at Myron's house from Oregon to stay with the couple. This was because of a deteriorating relationship between Myron and their daughter. The report provides disturbing details about the sequence of events. Myron's 15-year-old daughter, Kristen, was napping in the apartment above when she suddenly heard gunshots. She got up to investigate and witnessed her dad shooting her grandmother, Susan Multanen, in the chest with a handgun from close range. The report further stated that Myron made several statements to her and her husband of interfering with his marriage. Still armed, Myron told his daughter to leave the apartment with him, and once outside, the girl saw her grandfather lying in the driveway. Myron instructed his daughter to go back inside the house and followed her up to the master bedroom. While Myron and his daughter were inside the house, a wounded Susan Multanen then made her way through the woods to a neighbor's house where she collapsed in the yard. She and the neighbor locked themselves in a back room in the house with the lights turned off, fearful Myron might come looking for her. In a steady and calm voice, she told the 911 dispatcher that she and her husband had come up to resolve their child's marital problems. Susan later died in hospital. For almost 3 hours, deputies continued negotiating with Myron. According to police reports, he expressed his unhappiness with the Pierce County Sheriff's Department. He also spoke about his deteriorating marriage with the unsolicited intervention of his in-laws. After a 7-hour standoff at around 10 p.m., the SWAT team who'd surrounded the house heard a muffled gunshot. They found a shotgun, rifle, and 2 handguns near Myron's body. Gary Multanen, brother of Monty Multanen, was shocked to hear of his brother's shooting.
You see this type of news on the news, and you say, how does that happen? Well, it's hit home. There's nothing that led us to believe there was difficulty. And then at 2:30 in the morning, I get a call from Eric that says, your brother's dead.
The news of the shooting took the usually quiet wooded neighborhood near the entrance to Kopachuk State Park by surprise.
Did you ever think he was capable of doing something like this?
We never know what people live through. And I would never have thought that. But
why not?
Because he always seemed so kind.
Dana Malik, who lives behind the deputy's family, told news reporters that she heard a loud bang from the house behind before 7 p.m. on Friday, but didn't think anything of it. She called Myron a good person. After the shootings, Sarah Myron, who was not present, told Tacoma police detectives she hadn't felt that her husband was dangerous, saying he'd never assaulted her and never threatened to hurt her or anyone else. A friend of Myron told the deputies that he seemed fine the day before the shooting, but something must have set him off.
Did he ever give any indication that he had any problems with his in-laws?
Absolutely not. We didn't even know his in-laws were there.
At a news conference, Pierce County Sheriff Paul Pastor expressed his sadness over the tragic incident.
My heart goes out to the family. I would ask viewers to keep family and friends of the Myron family and the extended family in their thoughts and prayers. I've given you a copy of a memo that I sent to our personnel on Saturday when I arrived back from the memorial ceremony in Washington, D.C. And I stated that while my heart goes out to family and friends, I have nothing but disgust and contempt for these murders.
On October 26, 2014, things quickly took a turn for the worst at a Florida home where Checkingston Sinclair and his 7-month pregnant wife, Ladwasa Argret, lived. Sinclair called 911 to say he had just committed a murder. The exchange between Sinclair and the dispatcher was calm on both sides, giving elaborate details on his wife's death.
911, please fire ambulance.
Yes, hello?
Hi, 911. Do you need the police or the ambulance?
Yes, ma'am. I need the police.
To what address? What's going on there?
A murder has been committed.
Oh, the murder has been committed? By who?
By me, ma'am.
By you?
Yes, ma'am.
Who did you murder?
I murdered my wife.
When?
Around 7 this morning.
Okay, what's your name? Okay. Is she still there?
Yes, she's still here.
What did you kill her with?
I got told with the gun.
You shot her? Where'd you shoot her?
Shot her in the head.
Is she in the bathroom or is she in the bedroom? Where's she at?
She's in the bedroom.
She's in the bedroom?
Yes.
Do you still have the gun?
Yes, I still do have the gun.
Do you have it in your hand or where's it at?
It's on the dining table.
We've got somebody coming out there to talk to you. Why did you do this?
We got into an argument and she came at me with the knife.
And so you shot her?
She was just going to attack me with the knife.
Okay. What was your wife's name? Okay. How long have y'all been together?
7 months.
7 months?
8. Yes.
Do you fight often?
Yes, we have fought. We do fight often.
How do you spell your name? Okay. And your phone number is 37?
How long would it take for me to get out here now?
It's not going to take them very long. Alright. Can you just not go anywhere near the gun? Do you want to go maybe stand by the front door?
I'm in the living room. The gun is over there by the dining table. I know that the gun is. I'm not going to that thing in there. I got the police officer come over and just handle it.
Okay, well, they're going to be there in just a little bit. I'm still here. I'm still here. Okay. It's up to you. If you want to stay on the phone with me, that's fine.
I'll just wait for the police officer here.
Okay. Alright, thank you.
Sinclair gave an account of how his wife got a steak knife from the kitchen and chased him around their apartment before he shot her. This incident allegedly happened right after an argument between the couple over a text message sent to Argret's cell phone around 6:30 a.m. Sinclair said he chucked his wife's cell phone in a toilet before she snapped and fetched a knife from the kitchen. He further disclosed that Argret chased him throughout the house. After arriving in the bedroom, the man grabbed a handgun. He and his wife exchanged a few words, then Sinclair fired the first shot. According to the shooter, the bullet grazed Argret as she fell to the floor. When she got up and came at him again, Sinclair fired again, fatally shooting her in the head. He claimed that he was acting in self-defense. Detectives combing through the crime scene have since argued otherwise.
His version of accounts and what we saw at the crime scene were completely inconsistent.
The detectives noticed that the pregnant woman was shot in the back of the head, not the front. After questioning him about it, Sinclair admitted to the detectives that he wanted to kill Argret. Neighbors also reported hearing screaming and gunshots.
I heard her screaming at like 6:30 this morning, and I thought I heard the gunshots.
Her mother recalled how much her daughter loved people.
Was asking, for change or whatever, and LaTwassa said, well, I don't have any money on me. I have my piece I just went and bought. She went down into the Little Caesars. And I said, LaTwassa, you need to eat. You're pregnant. She said, Ma, I can go buy another one. And that's just who she was.
Sinclair was charged with first-degree premeditated murder, murder of an unborn child, and tampering with evidence. On trial, Assistant State Attorney Brandon White said, "This wasn't just a murder, this was an execution." It was discovered that Sinclair had staged the crime. The accused waited at least 3 hours before calling 911.
He said he sat on the couch and contemplated his actions and thought, I probably could have handled this better.
A crime scene investigator testified that the blood spatters from the gunshot wound and other physical evidence at the scene revealed that Argret's body had been moved and the knife placed near her hand. Further evidence against the 25-year-old showed that he sent a text message to a friend, saying he wouldn't be able to participate in fantasy football that season. Sinclair also texted his mother and brother saying he loved them. After a 90-minute deliberation, the jury found him guilty of first-degree premeditated murder, murder of an unborn child, and tampering with evidence. In November 2021, deputies responded to an eerily calm call from Garrett Robert Eley from Hendersonville, North Carolina.
911, what's the address of the emergency?
I'm sorry, what was the address again, Toddy? Okay, the address is... and there's been 2 shootings.
Okay, like, you just heard somebody discharge a weapon, or has somebody been shot?
No, there are 2 people dead in the house. Would you like me to,
Hold on. Okay, Okay, hold on. So there's 2 people deceased in this house?
Yes.
Okay, and do you live there?
Yes.
Okay, who are these people?
One of them was my father, and the other one was my uncle.
Okay, and does it look like they have been shot or?
They were shot.
Both have been shot? Okay, what's your name?
Yes.
Okay, what's a phone number that you're calling from?
I'm a little bit unfamiliar with that. You know, I haven't really memorized it yet.
Okay, are you inside the house with them?
Yes.
Okay, so
and my grandparents as well.
So did you just come home and find them deceased in the house?
I would rather. I'm not sure. I'm very new to this. I'm not really sure how this process works, but I would rather. I'm not sure if this is a matter of a Fifth Amendment kind of thing, but I'd rather do that.
I need this information, okay?
Okay.
Did you just come home and find them deceased?
No.
Okay, were you there when this happened?
Yes.
Okay, who shot who?
I shot them both.
Okay, so you're the one that you shot both of them. Where is the gun?
The gun is on the bed beside me, but I could leave it there.
No, just leave the gun on the bed, okay?
Okay.
Okay. And what kind of gun is it?
It is a 7.62 a 308 Galil.
Okay, so it's a 308.
Yes, 308 semi-automatic Galil, and also a 10 millimeter, but that's on the counter.
Where's your grandparents at?
I kept them in the bathroom, or I escorted them into the bathroom. I used a chair and tape to keep them there while I got my head sorted out.
Okay, so you have put your grandparents in the bathroom?
Yes. I had no intention of hurting either of them. I never did.
What, I'm sorry?
I had no intention of hurting either of them. I never did. This was between me and my dad and his brother.
Okay, and why did y'all get in an argument, or?
This has been a long back and forth. It's been a long back and forth since I got here. It's kind of a long story. I would rather kind of turn myself in and explain it down to the station if that's possible.
Okay, and where are you at in the house?
I'm in my father's room.
Okay, is that where your father and uncle are at?
No. I panicked. I got nervous, so I tried to clean up as best as I could. So, there's a post-mortem cut on his neck to make sure he's dead because he's a large man. It made me nervous.
Okay, how long ago did you shoot him?
Probably close to maybe a couple hours, maybe, if I had to guess.
But you said, and where is it? You said that there was a 308, and you said there was a pistol also?
Yes.
Okay, where's the pistol at?
On the counter.
In the living room or in the kitchen?
No, it's in the same room as the rifle.
Okay, but right now you're in. Is there any way you can go to the kitchen?
I'm sorry, what?
Where you said you're in the back bedroom?
Yes, I'm in my father's room right now.
Okay, where is the bedroom in relation to where your father and them are at?
He's in the garage with a sheet over him. His brother is in his room.
Okay, so your father, what's your father's name? Okay, and he is in the garage?
Yes.
And you put a sheet over him?
Yes.
And your uncle is where?
He's in his room.
Okay, and what's your uncle's name? And he's in the bedroom?
Yes.
And are your grandparents okay?
Yeah, they're fine. I didn't hurt them at all.
Have you checked on them lately?
Yeah, I saw them a short time ago.
Okay, and did y'all get into an argument or something?
No, it's like I said, this is somewhere to be explained. It's a very long feud between me and him. There's a lot of death threats back and forth between each other over the years. frankly, and, this kind of blew up tonight.
Is there any way that you can go outside the house?
Yes. Would you like me to wear something brightly lit or something to...
No, what do you, okay, do not have anything in your hands. I want you to stay on the phone with me. Do not have anything in your hands. And when you go out the front door.
I understand. Would you like me to wait in the driveway then?
Well, I need you to make sure, though, your hands are up. If you can put the phone, like, on your shoulder, but make sure the officer can see your hands, please.
I understand.
Okay, are you going that way now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, you told me you'd like me to stay on the phone with you. All right, Patty, I'm gonna go wait for the police to show up and come.
Do you see the officer?
You kind of scared me a little bit. I'm talking to my grandparents. And you kind of scared me a little bit when you said you wanted to shoot me, though. That makes me kind of nervous, Patty. Okay, I'm leaving the gun.
Turn the porch light on. Can you turn the porch light on?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Can you turn the porch light on?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm trying to let my grandparents out of the bathroom. I had the door.
Just leave your grandparents in there right now. I need you to go and turn on the front porch light and walk out the door, but nothing in your hands. Okay. Are you outside yet?
Yes, I'm going outside right now.
Okay, you're walking out the door. Is the light on?
When the sheriff's deputies responded to the 911 call, they approached the neighborhood without any sirens, parked nearby, and proceeded on foot to the home. Once surrounded, the 27-year-old did not resist arrest. He complied with the officer's instructions and was arrested without incident. The victims were identified as Stephen Robert Eley and Brian Eugene Eley, Garrett's uncle. Garrett made the 911 call from his father's bedroom and told the dispatcher his father was in the garage and that he had covered his body with a sheet. His uncle, also deceased, was in his bedroom. He estimated the shootings happened a couple of hours before making the 911 call. There were no specific details for his motive or the events that led up to the shooting. He told the dispatcher it was a very long story, with lots of death threats back and forth between each other throughout the years, adding that it all kind of blew up tonight. Deputies also found Garrett's grandparents forced and locked in the bathroom, Patricia Ann Barker and Robert Irving Barker, listed in tax records as the homeowners. The Barkers were reportedly transported to the Party Hospital for evaluation. No injuries were reported. In a press conference, Sheriff Griffin said that authorities believed Garrett used a high-powered rifle and that there were several firearms in the home. He also spoke on the latest motive.
This investigation is ongoing. We still have some interviews to conduct, so I'm not going to issue any speculation as to what the motive may have been. Right now, we're really unclear on all of the whys to this. Nothing that I'm familiar of, or nothing that I'm familiar with. But that's not to say that he doesn't. The investigators haven't provided me with that information.
Garrett was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder in the killings. The accused was also charged with 2 counts of kidnapping his grandparents. The victims are survived by multiple family members, including their mother, none of whom have spoken to the media since the incident. Griffin said the tragedy would ripple through the family for years to come and urged others to call authorities if situations were too difficult for them to navigate instead of resorting to violence. There have been no further updates on the case, but be sure to like this video so that you don't miss any future developments. In February 2012, around 2 a.m., 911 dispatchers received a call about a home invasion on Pinewood Road in the Bethany community near Reedsville. LaDonna and Troy French were found shot to death, and their daughter, Whitley, was treated for cuts.
Right, I'm getting 911. Somebody broke into your house and shot your parents? Yes. All right, hold on. Ma'am, we're going to get somebody to you. Confirm your address. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, calm down. Calm down. The dispatcher's gonna send you help, okay? Do you have any idea who it was?
They came in my room and they started jumping on me and they were trying to cover my mouth. They took my phone and they ran. They had a gun and my parents, they heard me screaming and then they shot my mom and dad and then ran out the door. I don't know how they got in the house.
They assaulted her and shot her parents.
Yeah.
What is your name? Ma'am. I've got help on the way to you, okay?
Okay. Please hurry. Sorry.
Ma'am. Okay. Ma'am. Ma'am, I need to know where she's hurt at. Can you give me some descriptions?
My mom is shot.
He's shot in the shoulder. Can you get some cloth or something and put on it, okay?
Okay.
All right. Subjects, did you see, did they leave in a car?
I don't know. They just left out my front door. I don't know how they got in.
They busted out your front door leaving?
No. They opened the lock and shut it. I locked it back. I don't know how they got in because all the doors...
So you don't know whether they're outside or which way they may have went?
They just ran. They had a hood on their head. I don't know.
Dark clothes, white or black?
I couldn't see. I couldn't see at all.
Okay, you don't know whether they're white males or black males?
No, I don't. I don't know at all. I'm really scared to die.
I know. How old are you?
I'm 19 years old.
All right, you got your doors locked.
Yeah, all the doors
I've got it. We've got it. I'm staying on the line with you. We got every deputy in the county's coming your way as fast as they can. I know you are, honey. I know you are.
I don't know why this would happen to me.
So she doesn't know if they took anything. They were wearing hoods and left running on foot.
Yeah. They just ran out the door.
Okay. You're doing good, dear. Just try to stay calm. How old is your dad?
My dad is... my dad is... He's 40. I think he's 47. My mom is 45.
Okay.
Are they almost here? I'm really scared.
They're coming lights and siren, honey. They're coming as fast as they can, okay?
I'm so scared.
I know you are, dear. You got every right to be.
Come back.
Well, if they know they didn't get away with anything, you just got your doors locked and just stay there. Do you have a weapon in the house with you?
I don't know where my dad has. I think I know where the gun is, but I don't know where it is.
Okay.
I think I was shot in the arm. My arm is bleeding. I don't know.
So you were shot in the arm too?
I don't know. He didn't. I don't think he shot me. He might have cut me, so my arm is bleeding, but I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm just worried about my parents.
Okay.
I'm scared that he's watching me. Daddy.
Okay, you got it, ma'am. You got to stay calm and keep bandages on him, okay?
I am. I have the towel under his shoulder, and hopefully it's soaking the blood up.
Okay, just tell him to keep it close to his body and not to move. Neither one, they don't move.
He doesn't breathe, and then he inhales very fast. Is that a bad sign?
He's probably in shock of what's happened to him, okay?
Okay, my mom, she's not making any noises. I don't want to go. She's laying near the door, and I don't want to go over there. I'm scared. My dad is laying in the kitchen.
He's laying in the kitchen floor. Where's your mom at?
My mom is right near the front door.
Near the front door?
Yeah, she's laying there.
Okay. All right, can you get to her to see if she's breathing? The daughter may have an arm wound. The father's shot near the shoulder. Respiration's irregular. Mother's down on the floor, not making any noise. Okay.
Are they almost here?
Well, the fire and the medic trucks and stuff are nearby. We got to let the sheriff's deputies try to get in there. Did they have handguns? Did they have rifles?
It was a handgun.
So they had pistols?
It was a handgun. That's all I know. I don't know anything about guns, really.
Okay. I mean, was it just a small gun in his hand?
Yeah, a small gun. He pulled it out when he ran down the stairs and shot my mom because she was near the stairs first. And then...
So they snuck in to rob and y'all surprised them?
Yeah, I had no idea. And my mom and dad were downstairs and I was upstairs in our room asleep.
Okay.
Are they almost here? Please say they're almost here. I'm scared.
Okay. As long as you got the doors locked, is your dad alert to tell you enough to tell you where his gun is?
Yeah, he's not breathing anymore. He's not doing the deep breaths anymore. His eyes are closed.
Or is he moving in the air at all?
He's not moving. He doesn't have a pulse.
He doesn't have a pulse?
I'm giving him CPR.
She's initiating CPR on her dad.
I'm up to 35.
She's initiating CPR. Is there a deputy there? Ma'am? Ma'am?
No, there's not.
Okay, don't let nobody in till I tell you to.
Okay. I hear them coming.
All right, she hears sirens. Do not open your door till I tell you to, okay?
Yes, sir.
We got to make sure the deputies get there first and make sure that if they're still around, they can find them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And when they do, there'll be a lot of people in there in a hurry.
I know.
You've been doing great there, okay?
Is somebody gonna come in? I don't believe somebody.
Is the law enforcement out there?
Yes, he is.
All right, if the law enforcement's out there and the scene's secure, you can let him in.
He hasn't knocked on the door yet.
If it's law enforcement, yes. Ma'am, is there a trooper inside with you? One trooper inside. She's talking with him, but he's by himself. Ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, then what's the trooper doing?
He's looking outside.
All right, he's checking around the residence now.
Mama.
I know.
This is Tom.
Yes, sir.
All right, look, she's saying that the one is gone. There's two here. As far as I know, the scene secure have not cleared the house. If you want to go ahead and send them in at this time, tell them to come into the driveway at the side door, and I'll stand by right here, okay? Looks like you got two, definitely 10-7 at this time. The female's right here.
Okay, does the young female, is she wounded also?
Yes, she's got an injury, but I don't know if it's a gunshot or a cut.
Okay, is her father in 1067? Because she was doing CPR on him.
It looks like both of them are. It appears that both of them are.
Okay, trooper says possible 2 1067s come in through the side door. Where's the deputies at now?
Stand by.
Who is it? Oh, my name is I don't know.
I want to go. Who's at the door?
Okay, troopers talking to them. They come around to the side door. Trooper. They're checking the house. They're securing the house.
According to 19-year-old Whitley French, she awoke to a stranger in her bedroom in the early hours of the morning. When the teen screamed, the intruder ran from her room and her parents ran to help her. Whitley told the police that the man began shooting at her parents once downstairs. It's unclear where her 14-year-old brother, Hunter, was at the time of the home invasion. 8 months later, the Rockingham County Sheriff's Office held a news conference where Sheriff Sam Page said they had a DNA profile of the killer that confirmed it was a man. But it didn't match anything stored in the state or national databases. Page told the press that the murder weapon, a high point 9mm handgun, belonged to Troy French. The father had told his family that the gun was missing in December 2011. Investigators believed the shooter likely had a connection to the family and could have known them well enough to get the gun from the house. Still, no arrests were made. By January 2013, Governor Pat McCrory offered a $5,000 reward for information leading to an arrest in the case. More than 3 years after the murders, police finally made an arrest. 28-year-old Jose Alvarez Jr., who was Whitley's brother-in-law. He was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder in connection to the French murders. In court, the DA described the killer as someone who was enamored and obsessed with the French home. While Alvarez would do yard work there, he found a hidey key, then made a copy. For months, he would spend time inside the home, often watching the family sleep. Alvarez was handed 2 consecutive life sentences without parole after he pleaded guilty. Even Rockingham County Sheriff Sam Page spoke at the sentencing, saying, "Every day until this case was solved, I thought about it, because I know the family. I'm glad today to saw this person responsible is going to prison for these acts for the rest of his natural life." 40-year-old Andre Murphy, a former police officer with the Cedar Hill Independent School District, arrived at his ex-wife Catina Murphy's home and kicked in the front door as she pleaded with 911 officers to send help fast.
Please send somebody. Send somebody right now. I think my ex-husband is going to try to break in the house. Send somebody, please.
Okay, stay on the line with me. Are you home alone?
Yes, I am alone. Mama, come back home. Mama, come back home. Send somebody.
Man, you talking to me is not going to slow anything down, okay? Stay on the line with me. Is he outside? What's your... Man, can you run out the back? Ma'am?
I can't get through it now.
Do you have a weapon, ma'am? Ma'am, do you have a... Run out of the back of the house, ma'am.
I think you... Ma'am, hurry.
In March 2013, Catina moved into her mother's DeSoto home after filing for divorce from her husband. According to reports, the couple's marriage was failing and Andre started to get hostile and violent toward his wife. In September of 2012, authorities were called after reports of a domestic incident. Catina claimed her husband had assaulted her. Officers determined that they could only charge Andre with a Class C misdemeanor citation. They advised Catina that they could not force him to leave the home that night. Along with her 6-year-old daughter, Catina left with just a laundry basket full of clothes. The next day, she requested the police accompany her to her marital home so that she could retrieve some more of her things. She found that most of her shoes and clothes had been cut up, and many other belongings were also destroyed. Despite the reports of violence and then ongoing divorce proceedings, according to a family friend, Catina had complained that Andre was stalking her in an effort to reconcile. In an affidavit accompanying her divorce filing, Catina said, "Andrew is not mentally stable, and actions need to be taken to protect my child and myself from him and the hostile environment." The final divorce decree granted Catina sole custody of the couple's daughter. She had been alone at her mother's house that fateful night when she heard someone trying to break in. When she saw that it was Andre trying to kick in the door, she immediately called 911. Police arrived and found both Andre and Catina dead from gunshot wounds in the primary bedroom closet where Catina had been hiding. Subsequent investigation determined that Andre shot and killed Catina and then turned the gun on himself. Neighbors said the details of the murder-suicide were heartbreaking. One neighbor, Charmaine Price, said, "We're like a family on the street. For this to happen, I'm baffled. I can't describe I haven't slept. Just knowing we lost 2 people who lived on the street were like family to us. It's very disturbing." DeSoto Police Captain Ron Smith said, "It's a tragic situation. Not only did 2 people die, but a young child lost her parents." The couple's 7-year-old daughter was not at home at the time of the shootings. Jermaine Pearson, a cousin of Andre Murphy, said the couple's daughter is now staying with other family members. In September 2015, Dickie Stewart called 911 when he found his neighbor shot, but he was also shot while on call.
Higgins County 911, where's your emergency?
This is Dick Stewart. I'm on Homestead Road, just past Gilman Road. There's a man down on the grass. It's my neighbor, Bill Isaacs. I can't tell if what's happened to him.
Okay.
Is he at Gilliland Road?
His arm been shot. It's not me too.
Sir,
I've been shot.
you've been shot.
Shot. Need an ambulance.
Sir.
According to authorities, Albert Leon Bowen shot and killed 2 people on the street outside his home near Pickens. The Pickens County Chief Deputy, Creed Hash, said they had no direct evidence of an ongoing feud with one of the men that led to the shooting around 10 a.m. that Monday. Although, the victim had laid numerous complaints which authorities later believed were against Bowen. The victims of this heinous crime were identified as former Pickens High School football coach Bill Isaacs and his longtime friend Dickie Stewart. Friends say Stewart was unmistakable with his long white hair and Santa Claus beard. Ann Guerin was a lifelong friend of Stewart and his wife. They went to the same church and sang together in the choir. She said Dickie was soft-spoken. He was kind. He was thoughtful. We had the happiest day at our church Sunday because we elected a new minister of music, and it was a happy time, and then yesterday, the bottom fell out. Isaacs coached at Pickens for 29 years, winning 181 games and 9 regional championships. He was named Conference Coach of the Year 9 times. Current Pickens High football coach John Boggs said he felt like he lost a member of his family. Blue Flame Stadium at Pickens High will now become the Bill Isaacs Field to honor the coach. According to an incident report, Isaacs told the deputy by phone that the windshield of a replica model vehicle was damaged in his driveway. The damage was consistent with a high-powered pellet gun. However, the incident could not be tied to anyone in the neighborhood. While on the call with the dispatcher, he yelled in pain, signaling he had also been shot. Bowen was taken into custody at his home shortly after the shootings and charged with 2 counts of murder. Investigators found 2 guns at the man's home. 64-year-old Bowen died in custody at the prison at 71 West Van Buren Street while awaiting trial. According to the U.S. Marshals Service statement, the preliminary cause of death was believed to be natural due to massive organ failure. The families also filed a wrongful death lawsuit in which Bowen's wife was named as one of those who should be held responsible. She immediately responded to say she played no part. It is unclear what the result of the case was. Saturday, February 20th, 2016, started off as a normal day for 45-year-old Jason Dalton. He took the family's German Shepherd, Mia, for a walk while Carol, his wife of 20 years, went out with their 15-year-old son and their 10-year-old daughter. After that, he ran errands for a couple of hours with a friend, Brian. Later, he told Brian he might nap and then go to work. Dalton was an insurance loss adjuster in Kalamazoo, Michigan. He had taken on some driving for Uber in his off time just 2 weeks before. The Daltons weren't struggling financially, but he liked the idea of making some extra money to take his family to Disney World. His first trip of the day refused to get into the car because he had their family dog with him. Just after 4:30 p.m., Matt Mellon booked an Uber, but the ride did not go as planned. Initially, the drive was regular, but after they'd driven a short while, Dalton received a phone call. Although Mellon could hear the call, he wasn't really paying attention and wasn't even quite sure if the voice he heard was male or female, adult or child. Then, everything changed. He called 911 about his dangerous encounter with 45-year-old Jason Dalton.
County emergency.
Hi, I'd like to report a crazy driver. I just got an Uber to my friend's house, and on the way there, he was driving neurotic down West Main. He hit a car. He drove through the woods, and I finally just jumped out.
Where's this at? Where are you at?
I'm on Huron Street, off Nichols.
Okay.
I got his license plate number when I jumped out of the car.
Where'd you jump out of the car at?
No, I mean, he stopped because I was like, this is my destination. I just had to get out of the car because I was scared. He was driving 50 feet in. Well, when we tried to go right onto Nichols, you know how it kind of, there's that yield sign and there's that big patch of grass. He drove through that.
Okay, just a second. Let me get you right place, okay? Stay in line.
More calls followed from the witnesses of the reckless driving, as well as the owner of the vehicle involved in the hit and run. He told the dispatcher, "He hit me pretty good. He was going like 50 miles per hour. Nobody was injured in that incident." However, as the night progressed, the 911 calls escalated. After Mellon escaped from his car, Jason Dalton sped home, where he went inside and drank a glass of water, then went down to the basement and prepared his guns, filling up the magazines. By the time he set off, he was carrying a loaded Glock 9mm semi-automatic pistol and was wearing a bulletproof vest under his jacket. Dalton called his wife to swap cars since he had damaged his. They were going to meet at his parents' house, but instead of going straight there, he accepted a new trip. About an hour later, a teenager called Macy ordered an Uber, and Dalton arrived. Thankfully for her, they couldn't find each other at Meadows Townhomes in Richland. Sadly, as a result, the driver approached Tiana Carruthers, who was crossing the parking lot with her daughter and some other children at the same apartment complex the second rider was supposed to be at. Dalton asked if she was Macy, and when the mother said she wasn't, he drove off, then circled back and shot her. Of the 14 shots he fired, 4 hit Carruthers. No one else was injured.
Where did they shoot at?
County emergency.
Yeah. Hello, I need a ambulance, police at. Please hurry up. Somebody fire shots.
Okay, listen.
She on the ground. I don't know if she hurt.
Okay, ma'am, give me the number again.
In front of in Savannah Trace Townhome.
Okay, so female's down. She's been shot.
Coming. Don't move. Don't move.
Okay, where's the person that shot her?
I don't know. The car sped off. Please.
Okay, ma'am, we're going to get the people going there, okay? I just need you to stay on the phone so I can get further, okay?
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
I don't believe it's happening out here. Please don't move. Please don't move. They coming, okay? Please don't move. We got the kids. Please don't move. Just stay there. Okay, we'll get them. You just calm down. Don't move. We got them. Don't worry about it. Yeah, they was in the car. They sped off.
Do you see what kind of car?
Did anybody see what kind of car it was? Where you are. They saw it. They didn't know what kind. What color was it? It was a silver car. That's all we know. It sped off so fast.
Silver car? Okay.
I mean, it was like about 9 shots. Okay, they coming. Fine, they coming.
Okay. Everybody's on the way. I'm still going to put you on hold for a second so we can get ambulance and rescue, okay?
Okay, please.
Multiple neighbors called 911 after hearing the gunshots. Tiana was rushed to hospital to undergo a number of surgeries. As Dalton sped off, he clipped another car. From the apartment block, he raced to his parents' house. Just down the road from the Meadows, he went through a red light about 80 miles an hour and sideswiped a car for the second time in 2 hours. Dalton hid the damaged Chevy Equinox in the garage at his parents' house. When his wife arrived, though, he discovered the Hummer wouldn't start. So instead, he took his parents' black Chevy HHR, which she had been driving. Initially, it was said that Carol thought nothing was off with her husband. It later came out that he had told her he was having trouble with the taxi people and that another driver had shot at him. Dalton fetched a loaded gun for his wife, telling her that she could not go back to work anymore and that the kids could not go back to school. When she asked what he was talking about, Dalton replied that as soon as she saw something on the news, she'd know it was related to him. Shortly after 10 p.m., the driver cut through Seal Kia, where a Dalton fatally shot Richard and Tyler Smith, a father and his 17-year-old son who were looking at cars. Earlier that day, the teen had spent time looking at cars with his girlfriend, Alexis Cornish, who was also 17. When the father and son got out to look at a blue Ford pickup truck, Cornish stayed in the back seat of the car. Dalton arrived at the lot, parked in front of the dealership offices, then approached the pair on foot, walking past the Range Rover without seeing Alexis. He was near the Smiths before they noticed him. After a brief conversation, Dalton shot the father and son. A witness said even after they had both fallen to the ground, he fired more shots. Alexis hid in the backseat of the Range Rover until the shooter was gone. She had left her phone at her boyfriend's house, so she had to retrieve his from his body. A nearby witness called 911 to report the shooting.
Kalamazoo County 911.
Hi, we just drove by the Kia. What road are we on? A 94 Business. And a guy just shot some people in the parking lot.
Okay. Are you still near the scene?
Yeah, we're at the Burger King, a couple of places down. There's a car sitting in the lot. I can't tell. That's some kind of SUV.
Okay.
All right. Did you hear shots fired? Is that? Yeah, that's what made us look. And there were two guys laying on the ground and one guy pointing a gun at them.
All right. Hold on. You're actually within Kalamazoo City's jurisdiction. I'm going to transfer you over to them, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yep, just stay on the line.
911, where's your emergency?
Hi, we're on Business 94. We passed the Kia dealership, and we just passed with somebody shooting a gun at two people lying on the ground.
Okay, okay. The Kia dealership where?
It's on Business 94 in Kalamazoo. We are pulled into the Burger King, which is a couple businesses down. There's a Tuffy Auto Center. I'm sorry, we're not from the area.
Okay, so you're on Stadium Drive?
We're close to 131.
Okay.
I think it's Stadium Drive.
Okay. Did you see who the person was that was shooting?
No, I just turned because we heard gunshots, and there was a man standing there pointing a gun at two people lying on the ground. We could see the smoke from his gun and hear it as we drove by, and we just pulled in. I don't know, we're probably 150 yards from them. There's an SUV still sitting in the parking lot.
Okay, what color is the SUV?
It's gray.
How many shots did you hear?
How many shots? At least 4.
Heard 4 shots?
Yeah.
Are they on the ground? All right, and you said the people are laying on the ground still?
We can't see them. There's cars blocking our way, but the SUV that was parked there is still there. It's running with their brake lights on. The Kia is 4102 Stadium Drive.
Okay, what is your name, ma'am? And what is your last name? And you're at the Burger King?
Correct.
Okay. Okay.
I'm trying to get further.
Okay. All right, ma'am. I'm going to go ahead and get an ambulance on the way. Is the person that's shooting still there? Did you see?
I can't tell. I can't see anyone. If we move farther in the parking lot, we might be able to see.
Okay. Do you feel comfortable pulling up to see if the person is still there?
No, because we don't know if the guy is still there.
Okay. Okay. What kind of vehicle are you in?
We are in a black truck.
All right. Would you feel comfortable if our officer gave you a call on your telephone or made contact with you at the Burger King?
No, that's fine. There's still people lying on the ground. Looks like at least 2.
Okay. Okay.
They're right underneath the Sealy Auto Group new and used sign in the parking lot.
Okay. All right. Well, we have several officers on the way. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, we're fine just sitting here until someone arrives.
Okay. All right.
There's definitely at least 2 people on the ground.
Okay. I'm going to keep you on the phone until our officers arrive on location, okay, in case anything happens. Did you happen to see anything else that you can think of as far as a description of the male?
I just know that he was white and had like a full head of hair, probably light colored gray or blonde. Other than that, we were driving by. Okay, one police officer's just pulling in. Other than that, we were driving by at like 50 miles an hour. The only reason I turned is because I heard the gunshots.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect with you right now. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and have an officer get in contact with you via telephone. Or if you feel comfortable waiting there, that's fine.
When we can wait. The cop car just pulled in, so he's in the parking lot right now.
All right. Sounds good. Then go ahead and sit tight, and then we'll have an officer come over and make contact with you, okay?
Okay, no problem.
Dalton carried on across town down Interstate 94, where he pulled into a Cracker Barrel restaurant in Oshtemo and pulled the trigger again. The victims were 4 women over 60, Mary Lou Nye, Mary Jo Nye, Dorothy Brown, and Barbara Hawthorne, and 14-year-old Abigail Kopf. They had met up for dinner at the Cracker Barrel, then carpooled to see a performance of Chinese acrobatics on campus. The women had gone back to the Cracker Barrel parking lot purely so they could split back into 2 parties before heading home.
Kalamazoo County 911.
I'm at the Kalamazoo Cracker Barrel, and there's been gunshots in a car.
There's gunshots in a car?
Yes.
Okay, has anybody been hit?
2 cars have been shot up. There's 3 people in 1 car, and 1 guy is not moving.
Do you have a vehicle? Where's the shots fired from?
Dad, I got it. We are at Kalamazoo Cracker Barrel.
If we're at Cracker Barrel, I got that. Where's the vehicle where they were shot from?
They're both in the parking lot.
They're both in the parking lot? What's the vehicle that fired the gun?
It's a blue HHR, dark blue, and it drove off right as we pulled up.
It's a blue HHR?
Yeah.
Do you have a plate or anything? Which way did they go?
No, because right as we pulled up, he was pulling out, and he just took off out of the entrance.
All right, you said it was a blue HHR, correct?
Yes.
All right, hold on just a second.
Okay, can I get an ambulance to this?
Get an ambulance.
Okay.
Get an ambulance. All right, are they breathing?
One is not. Are you guys all okay? Okay, so this one car is okay. The other one is a minivan, and the passenger is not moving.
Passenger's not moving?
No.
Did you see who the person was?
No,
the
because
driver?
right as we pulled up, they flew out of here.
Sir, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay. Where are you at right now?
I'm right behind both of the cars.
Both of the cars?
Yes.
Right, don't hang up, okay? I'm going to throw you on hold just a second, okay? Don't hang
no
up.
problem.
Sir, are you still there?
That's what he just asked.
Sir, are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your name? Are you out with officers right now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna put your information in here so they can speak with you, okay?
Okay.
2 cars full of carnage were left behind. As first responders arrived on the scene, they could hardly believe what they saw. Then suddenly, there was a small glimmer of hope. 14-year-old Abby Kopf, who'd been out to dinner and a show with her grandma Barb, and the other victims had been shot in the head but was alive. The teen was rushed to surgery at Bronson Hospital. Doctors treating 14-year-old Abigail had called a time of death, and the body was maintained so her organs could be harvested for transplant. And then breathing and a heartbeat were detected, a miracle. She then squeezed her mother's hand once, and then again after a prompt. Miraculously, the 14-year-old survived. Meanwhile, Dalton had simply resumed picking up Uber fares. Once again, people shuttling back and forth from bars in downtown Kalamazoo for a few dollars each, just as he might have on any other night. Only on this night, he was driving around with a loaded murder weapon hidden in his coat. Some passengers even asked him if he was the shooter, and he denied it. Finally, at 12:40 a.m. the following morning, a Kalamazoo City deputy pulled over Dalton in downtown Kalamazoo, driving a black Chevy HHR and wearing a bulletproof vest. He surrendered and was arrested. The driver was charged with murder for each of the 6 who died and attempted murder for the 2 who were injured. As the community buried the victims and supported their survivors, years of legal delays and appeals plagued the case. During a police interrogation with Dalton, he explained to officers why he committed the brutal murders.
I'm not a killer, and this is what I know that I have killed. I know that you guys are gonna have a hard time believing this, but it literally took over mind and body. The Uber app? It's red when I first started. Okay. It switched from red to black. Okay. When it's in that black mode, it literally has control of you.
The shooter's court-appointed lawyer applied for a competency test, but the psychologist found Dalton fit to stand trial. During court proceedings, his attorney fought for and won the right to keep his confession out of evidence. Multiple witnesses and victims came forward with their testimony, including Tiana Carruthers. While relaying her story, Dalton had a very public courtroom meltdown. From then onwards, he appeared via video. The survivor of the car lot shooting and Tyler Smith's girlfriend, Alexis Cornish, also testified during the trial.
There has been some delays in the process brought about by the issues with regard to evidence's admissibility.
Finally, after 3 years, the Kalamazoo community awoke from a nightmare that turned out to be real, and the horrible story got its last chapter. Jason Dalton pleaded guilty to 16 charges Monday, including 6 counts of murder. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Victim impact statements were given by the family members.
I'm thinking, why would you hurt me? I pause, replay, and relive every single moment. Pause, play, rewind, slow, fast. I just can't keep living in the past. But it feels so fresh waking up in cold sweats that you, Jason Dalton, might come again and empty a full clip. You tried to kill us all. You failed. I'm standing here, right here, in your face, in front of you. How does it make you feel? Look at me. How does it make you feel? She wasn't just an aunt. She was my close confidant.
And I trust that the Almighty God will haunt you eternally, starting now, with the fact that you are nothing but a pile of worthless evil. Worthless. I hope the prison system and your prison mates serve as an endless reminder that you are nothing but worthless, despicable evil.
When the detective sat my mom and I down and told us that my brother and my dad had been shot and killed, I couldn't feel a thing. I was emotionally numb and I felt like time had...
Local news station Wood TV 8 followed teen survivor Abby Kopp's recovery. After multiple surgeries, she managed to start high school in 2017. Kopp suffered from daily headaches and seizures as a result of the shooting.
What's the location of your emergency?
It's cancel that.
Okay, what's going on there?
I just shot my mother and my...
You shot your mother?
I committed a double homicide.
Okay, you shot your mom and who?
My nephew.
Okay. What happened?
I lost my mind.
Okay, what's your name?
My name is Adrian Graham Wallace.
Okay. Do you know if they are they alive at this point?
I don't think so. I shot him multiple times.
Okay.
Just committed a murder.
Okay. Where are you right now, sir?
My home.
Okay.
What was my home.
Okay.
Wasn't going to be my home.
What did you shoot them with?
308 rifle.
Where is that gun now?
That's on the ground.
Where at?
Murderers do.
Okay. Where did you put it?
On the ground.
Okay, outside or?
It's near the homicide scene.
Okay. Where exactly is that? Is it inside the house or?
Outside.
Okay. In the back of the house or the front of the house?
In the front of the house.
Okay. And are you inside now?
I'm ready to surrender.
Okay.
I don't give a shit about this life anymore. I don't care.
Okay, well, I don't want you to do anything to yourself, okay? I don't want you to kill yourself.
Yeah, I know you want your case.
No, sir, that's
Have
not
a case.
that's not what
Good.
I'm getting at.
Great. Fine. Wonderful.
Okay, are you inside or outside?
I'm smoking a cigarette in the garage.
Okay.
My last cigarette, I suppose.
Are you armed at all now?
I don't really respect your cops at all, but no. If they treat me with respect,
okay,
I'll go ahead and be a prisoner. That's fine.
Okay, so you're not armed with any weapons any longer?
No.
Okay. Okay. Is anybody else there with you?
No.
Okay. Can I ask your date of birth, sir?
I don't remember. It's
Okay.
1971, I think.
Okay. So you said that you went crazy, you had some kind of mental break?
Well, I'm going to open the garage door. I can't believe I did what I did.
Okay. I want to help you as much as I can. Okay, so whatever you
No,
need.
I did what I did.
No, I know, but anything.
People have been killed.
Okay.
It's a criminal act. I committed a crime.
Okay.
People are dead. They're not moving around.
Okay. We don't know that. We might be able to help them still.
People are dead.
Okay.
This is it.
Okay. I believe you.
Oh, you didn't have it coming. Scumbag.
What
Crimes against me.
what brought this on?
Well, multiple repeated crimes, child abuse, like that.
Okay. Against you?
Why are you asking me this stuff? Just arrest me and throw me in a cage.
Sir, I'm sending people to come help you. Okay.
Help me.
Yes, they're on the way to come help you. Okay.
Hello, I just committed a double homicide.
I understand.
There's no help. You're just trying to protect your officers. Where are they? I'm surrendering.
They're coming as fast as they can, sir.
You don't do what I did and get away with it. That's against the law. I surrender. Just give me a cop. I surrender. That's how it is.
They're coming as fast as they can. I promise you that. Okay.
If you're going to act like you're personally interested, I was an abused child. My scumbag family lied and lied and lied about it. And I just snapped.
Okay.
I just couldn't take the lies no more. You're tapping on your keyboard. I can hear that.
Yes, because like I told you, I'm sending officers out there to come help you, okay? And I'm trying to get them to come as fast as they can. They are driving as fast as they can right now to you. I promise you that.
Well, just kill me because I'm not going to kill myself.
Okay, we don't want to kill you either.
Yeah, you do.
No, sir, I do not want to kill you, and none of those officers want to kill you either.
Read that in the handbook or something?
No, I am serious. I'm being serious with you. I'm being dead honest with you.
What part of double homicide do you not understand?
I know that
I'm the bad guy
I know that you had to be hurting to do what you did.
I used to be the good guy. I used to help people.
I know.
Now I'm the murderer. I just killed 2 people.
Okay. I understand. I understand that you have done something horrible.
Do you understand that I just killed 2 people?
Yes, I do. I'm
used to be the good guy. I used to help people. Then a bunch of so tell me about yourself scumbags discriminated against me, made me impossible to employ. These betrayed me for the last time. Part of a family that child molester scumbags.
I agree. And like I said,
911 operator stuff.
Sir, no, that's not what I'm doing.
What you're trying to do is keep me on the phone so the cops can sneak up on me.
No, they're not going to sneak up on you.
You understand?
They're not going to sneak up on you. They know that you know. I told them that you are aware that they're coming.
In a prison cell because I don't want to do this anymore.
They're coming as fast as they can. I promise. They are not trying to sneak up on you. They know that you called.
Just give me some handcuffs and a prison cell. Shoot me in the head. Kill me.
Sir, nobody wants to kill you.
Yes, you do.
Nobody wants you dead. What has happened to you is
we'll
horrible.
do it by the process of law.
What has happened to you is horrible.
Stuff, then you'll kill me.
No, what has happened to you is horrible. What happened to your family is horrible. What happened to everybody here is horrible.
My mother's brains are on the driveway.
Okay.
Driveway I cleaned for her, and
and I know you don't feel good about that. I know you don't. They're coming as fast as they can. They are coming as fast as they can.
Well, they're being real slow because they're going to see a mess, and it's going to be a tragedy. Somebody, please just kill me.
Nobody wants to kill you, sir.
Well, I made a deal a long time ago.
With who?
With God.
Okay. What was that deal?
Help everybody I could help, and I was going to walk away from everybody I couldn't. And I broke that deal today.
In June 2012, a Lake Oswego man dialed 911 and spoke to a Clackamas County dispatcher for 20 minutes, saying he had used a .308 caliber rifle to kill his mother and nephew. Adrian Wallace said he received orders from God to attack and kill 71-year-old Sandra Sue Wallace and 16-year-old Nicholas Nick Juarez. During an interview with investigators, Wallace said he loved his mother but accused her of turning him into an alcoholic and making him dependent. He had not been employed full-time for years and said he needed her help in preparing for job interviews, but she wasn't responsive to his problems. Wallace moved in with his mother in 2009. His life at her home near Lake Oswego mostly consisted of smoking cigarettes, drinking beer, and playing video games. The shootings were triggered by a seemingly innocuous comment his nephew made to Wallace, who took it as a snub. After an explosive confrontation with his mother and Juarez, Adrian Wallace said he was certain that he would be forced to move out of his mother's home. He then shot them as they attempted to flee. Adrian Wallace admitted to killing the pair but mounted an insanity defense. Psychologist Henry Miller, who spent 50 hours interviewing Adrian Wallace, concluded he suffered from psychosis that began in childhood. Miller diagnosed Wallace with paranoid schizophrenia, saying the killer didn't know the difference between reality and his imagination. However, the killer did not mention the so-called command hallucination to detectives who interviewed him just hours after the crime. Instead, he first disclosed it 9 months after the murders. Between 1986 and 1999, Wallace was evaluated 7 times by psychiatrists or psychologists. Each time the diagnosis was similar, moderate or major depression. No one concluded Wallace was psychotic or schizophrenic. During the trial, defense attorney David Falls told jurors that murders were the act of a man who suffered a tragic psychotic break that was a long time in the making. His parents, both successful professionals, Sue Wallace was a licensed clinical social worker before she retired in 2000, divorced when he was a child. Wallace was considered a highly intelligent child but categorized in grade school as a loner. He had difficulty communicating with others, didn't fit in, and had no friends even in his adult life. Falls told the jury that Wallace was distraught after the blow-up with his mother and Juarez. He went to his room, intending to use his rifle to take his life. However, he had promised God he wouldn't. Despite the insanity plea, a Clackamas County jury took only about 12 minutes to convict Adrian Graham Wallace of 2 counts of aggravated murder and the execution-style killings of his mother, Sandra Sue Wallace, and nephew, Nicholas Brian Juarez. He was sentenced to life in prison.
Gilchrist County 911, what's the address of the emergency?
Yes, ma'am. I just shot my daughter and shot all my grandkids, and I'll be sitting on my step. And when you sit here, I'm going to shoot myself.
What is the address that you're at, sir?
Don Spirit. Every one of them are dead.
You said your name is Don Spirit?
Yep.
All right, Don. What kind of gun do you have?
It doesn't matter what kind of gun I got. They're all dead, and then when you get here, I'll shoot myself, and then you figure out what kind of gun it is.
How long did this happen, Don?
I don't want to hear it, man. I'm done with everything. Just bring out here, that's all. You got all the kids are dead in the house.
Okay, how many people?
6 kids, 1 adult.
6 kids and 1 adult?
Yeah. One of them is a baby.
All right, Don. Is there any way you can stay on the phone with me till I get somebody there to help you?
What's that?
Can I have you stay on the phone with me?
No, not that. I'm waiting for them to get here. When they get here, I'm going to shoot myself on my back step. All I'm doing is waiting for them.
Stay on your back step.
All these years later, the same question remains. Why did Don Spirit kill his family? The 51-year-old murderer made the call at 4 p.m. on September 18, 2014, from his Florida home after he killed his daughter, 28-year-old Sarah Spirit, and his 6 grandchildren. 9-year-old Kylie Coleman, 11-year-old Caleb Coleman, 8-year-old Jonathan Coleman, 5-year-old Destiny Stewart, 2-month-old Alana Stewart, and 4-year-old Brandon Stewart. When the Gilchrist County Sheriff's Office arrived, Spirit was pacing outside his trailer. He told them, "I'm not mad at you, I'm mad at the Stewarts." He was allegedly angry with the great aunt of 3 of the children, Colleen Stewart, claiming she had made his daughter promiscuous and drug addicted. He told deputies that he was fed up with the whole family. Then, the 51-year-old emerged from the back of the trailer with a semi-automatic weapon and took his life. Neighbors said that Spirit had called Sarah names the day before because, while she was unemployed, she was being paid to sleep with men. He had later apologized, saying he was stressed out and wouldn't accept that type of behavior. Meanwhile, the killer's ex-wife claimed he was bipolar and possibly under the influence of drugs. The FDLE report indicated that Spirit had been off his medication for weeks and that he was smoking spice.
Don't forget to like this video if you found it interesting, and subscribe to join us in the next episode of True 911.